Hey, small YouTubers boost. I am back. Had my Taco Bell. Not sponsored. So I was able to meet up with John. Had some Taco Bell. Came back. Had a little channel business to take care of. Apparently, somebody was private messaging people sub for sub stuff, which is not cool. So we had to go and ban that person and take care of a couple other things. But I'm back. So I'm going to be reviewing channels. I'm going to be continuing to do that. But before I get back into the channel reviews, I still have a list from before. But if anyone wants me to review their channel, just mention the channel name. Again, some ground rules. I'm going to be looking at your channel generally. I'm not going to be watching any videos. I'm not going to be subscribing. This is for two reasons. One, if you were to submit a video that you wanted me to review and it's 2 hours long, then that's the rest of my afternoon, and I can't help anyone else. I don't want this to be a way that people are just trying to get views. Similarly, I'm not going to be subscribing to anyone because I don't want this to be people trying to get me to subscribe. This is about feedback that could be, I'll be talking about individual channels, but it might apply to other people's channels. So I want it to be useful to a wider audience. Yeah, so if I see something I like, then maybe I'll come back to it later, like on my own time, and I may or may not subscribe. Just a thing that I do personally is my subscriptions are not public because I don't want to encourage sub for sub. I don't want people to, think that me subscribing to them creates a sense of obligation, or if I don't want people to be able to check if I've unsubscribed or whatever. What I watch and happen to enjoy should be separate from the content I create, as far as I'm concerned. So those are just some of those ground rules. Just before we get into that. I have one or two other to-do things, and we only have 2 viewers right now, so I'm just going to give it a little time for that. But I am going to talk about a couple of things before we get too deep here. One of them is I find that having a file that has some of the addresses of all your social media accounts can be really useful. If it'll have, your Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, Flickr, podcast, whatever URLs, and it's really easy to go and copy and paste and share. And I'm noticing now on my Surface, I actually don't have it with me. I have it on my desktop at home, but it looks like I don't have it here. So just because Martin from earlier was wanting some of my links. So what I'm actually going to do, I think I'll use Firefox here. This is faster. Sorry for any noise that you're hearing. They're doing some construction at the mall across the highway from my hotel. So if it becomes a problem, let me know. I can see about relocating further into the room. But I think the sound on the previous live streams were actually pretty good. So I'm going to see if I can get away with just staying here because it's comfortable. And I've adjusted the camera angle a little bit so you're not totally, checking out Ray with the double chin or trying to look at my nose. Not that you'd want to do that. That's why I moved it. Who wants that? So anyways, Martin was just asking for some links, and I could go and I could type it all out. One thing that you can do on your YouTube channel is you can have sort of a standard part of your description that auto-populates every time you upload a video. And so we have something like that. So I'm just going to go to one of my videos and copy and paste the links from that. I'm not logged in, so I'm just going to search for my own channel, Vacation Impossible. Check us out on YouTube and all the social media stuff if you're at all interested in travel videos or just hearing more of me talk. Actually, I'm going to review my own channel, kind of. Let's take a look. My logo's looking okay. I don't know about my logo. I think it might need some work. I think it could be better, but it's good enough for now. At least it looks relatively professional. It fits the circle shape and stuff. Travel more exciting and funny adventures around the world will show you the fun you could be having. Expert cruise trips. That's okay. I can't think of anything to change on that right now. So I'm just going to go in and find a video where I can copy and paste my link so I can share it with Martin, and then we'll get back to the channel reviews. So, for example, as I mentioned previously, what's serving currently as my channel trailer is the Alaska Cruise Time-Lapse Ocean View. It's a 52-second video. There's no speaking. It's just with music, some original music we have, but it's a time-lapse of Alaska. And so that's kind of serving in as this channel trailer for us right now. And so an important thing about descriptions for videos, what is your channel? It's Vacation Impossible. If you search that, it should be the first result. And the description for videos, the first 3 lines appear above the show more option. So that's what we call above the fold. That's the stuff that people will see without taking any action on their own. So those top 3 lines are really important. I recommend that if you do create an automatic part of your description of videos that fills in all your social media links, to have it after those first 3 lines, so that it is below the fold. Because I don't think that people, generally speaking, necessarily want that in their face. I don't think it adds value to them very much. But if they want to find you, they click Show More, and then all your links are there. I think that's sort of an appropriate way of interacting. So let's see here. That's interesting. It kind of truncates the list. So yeah, man, it's going to be kind of a pain. Maybe I should sign in. I wonder if I remember my login. Oh, the computer remembers. I like that. Blah, 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 protect your account. Tell Google how to reach you in case you forget your password, lose access. Recovery number and email. It's accurate. I'm just going to click done. How's the sound? Are you hearing that? Is that a problem? If I need to move, let me know. The window's closed, but there's still quite a bit of noise that's getting through there. I hope it won't last long, because it's starting to annoy me. Okay, now that I'm logged in... Allow notifications, sure, why not? Valen has subscribed to me. Thank you, Valen. Actually, that's Martin. That's the person I'm trying to quickly... in all this time I'm trying to be lazy to copy and paste the links. I probably could have just typed them out, but whatever. I'm going to Creator Studio. Doesn't bother you. Cool. Well, you're the only one talking, so I'll take it as a win. I'll go in like I'm going to edit my most recent video, which is discussing the relative merits of the 2 different sides of a cruise ship you can book, port versus starboard. Spoiler alert, I don't think there's a difference. But other people expressed... I keep saying introducing end screens. I know this. I don't know why it keeps telling me like I haven't heard it before. Okay. Facebook, Instagram, Twitter... I'm not going to give them the Flickr. It's just stupid. Let's create a new window. You want to know a cool Windows trick? Is, on the bottom, you've got your different programs that are open. So let's say you're in Firefox or something, you want to open a new browser. Hold down Shift and click on it at the bottom, and it'll create a new instance of the program fresh. It's saving seconds off my life. Okay, I'm just going to get into Facebook here to send this, and then we'll get back to the channel reviews. And I do still have the list from before. Martin Benson, that's who was asking. YouTube, Instagram, podcast, so I can add them to the description. Alright. Alright, linked up. Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Tumblr. And then I'm going to link up the podcast. I do have my own podcast. It's the Vacation Impossible podcast. It's available on most podcast platform listeners. It's not on Spotify yet, but it's on everything else. So it's on like iTunes, and it's on Google Play. It's on Stitcher. Just tons of apps. It's on pretty much everything but Spotify, I think. But we're hosted through Podbean. Podbean's a pretty decent platform. I went with that just because my YouTube hero, Pat Contra, uses it. It's $100 a year for hosting, approximately. So it's not a bad deal. Hopefully it's a bit more professional than just like putting it on WordPress or something. Hey, John. I did not bring signs to film here in Victoria. I'm sorry. I just it's that part of having a sign. I keep forgetting. I made it like round 1, round 2 signs, and then my family decided to put their food on top of them, and they got food stains all over them. So I need to make them again. More goatee. Goatee's fine. Beard, ugh, I'm not a fan. But my shavers are my razor and stuff is still in Vancouver. They're coming over with my car tonight, so I'll be more clean shaven later. But this is like a day of growth here, so 2 days. Enjoy. I don't understand you beard people, but I don't begrudge you your interests. An A4 and a market. Now, A4 is the size of paper. That's letter size, I know, in sort of the rest of the Commonwealth. A marker. I could just handwrite. My handwriting's crap, but I could get somebody else to do it. It's not a bad idea. All right, I'm just going to link up my YouTube channel in a private message to Martin here, and then we'll get to the channel reviews. Okay, hopefully that's what he was looking for. All right, closing down Facebook in my Surface now so I can focus on channel reviews. Whoever owns the channel CJ Play that was asking from the previous channel review, if you're here, please let me know how I can identify your channel versus someone else's. But I do have 3 other channels from the previous stream that I said that I would review. This stream will be available to rewatch, so even if they're not here now, I'm going to give them a quick review, because I think what I'm trying to do is give general feedback that hopefully will apply to a variety of people. Place to store your food. Yeah, I was doing that earlier with my fritter. But hopefully some of the stuff is general and gets you thinking and sparks a conversation, whatever. So I'm going to just go forward with my to-do list. So Tuxie was next on the list. I seem to have found it by searching its unique name. And so the logo it's a nice image. It looks like some like smoke or liquid going through water, or I don't know what. It's kind of something like that. It's almost like a wind tunnel kind of effect. And hey, glad you enjoy it. I did this once before in December from the Hilton LAX, where I had a hotel day. Now I'm in Victoria at the Mayfair Motel, and I've got a hotel day. So I figure this is just it's something I can do. Hopefully it's valuable to some of you guys. We're called Small YouTubers Boost, and I think some people come to it thinking, oh, I'm going to get views and subscribers on tap there, which is, there's no such thing anywhere. But I'm trying to add some value to you guys and make the group worthwhile. So hopefully this is helpful. So anyways, it's a nice picture. The profile picture for this Tuxie channel, but it doesn't tell me anything about you, and frankly it's not that unique. It's nice colors, it's a good image, but there's not a lot of brand association there. So I don't know that that's the best thing for that. A logo of some kind that includes at least your channel name or something about it is generally a good idea. Something unique to you. It might just be your face. So let's see. In the search results, the channel description I'm seeing here, hey guys, I am a one-handed gamer and I play competitive Call of Duty. I also try to bring video blogs, gameplays, and commentaries. Okay, so this is interesting. Wow, I wish it would be quiet out there. Seriously, guys, if that noise gets to be too much, let me know and I can see about relocating. But we'll journey on until I hear otherwise. So, beginning with hey guys. Again, conversationally, if you're in a podcast, you're doing a live stream, you're making a video, conversing that way, very good. One of the things that I've been reading about some market research that's been done about podcast audiences is they like it when it feels like you're being spoken to as a one-on-one conversation. So in that instance, those sorts of things can be good, but in a description, I don't think hey guys is useful. I don't think anyone is searching the word hey or guys necessarily. And certain guys are probably not looking for this on YouTube. So I would suggest taking out that opening phrase of "Hey guys." But the one-handed gamer, that's unique. I think that's a unique thing. And so getting back to the profile picture, if it was something like a hand or something that would you could associate with that, and then when you see it again, you'll remember that's what that was about, and it also communicates something, could be useful because I think that's part of that unique niche. And the fact that you're a one-handed gamer and play competitive Call of Duty, that's impressive. A little thing, the second time the person says I, it's not capitalized. When I is its own word and referring to you, you want to capitalize that. Just helps it look a little bit more professional. So, yeah, I think you've got an interesting concept here. And I don't know if it's maybe by choice or maybe perhaps you only have one hand, but that sounds impressive. And on a side note, I used to play Mario Kart 64 so much that none of my friends could beat me, and they hated playing me. So I found a way to actually play it one-handed, but by choice. But basically, I would hold the control in such a way that I would curl my index finger around the stick. I think I would use my middle finger for acceleration, and then my back middle finger for the items on the back of the. Anyways, it's hard to tell and explain it without the controller in my hand. But I play Mario Kart 64 one-handed, and John's about the only person I know that can beat me even when I play one-handed. He was in the Navy. He borrowed my N64 Mario Kart 64 for like a 6 to 9 month deployment. He left. I was able to whoop him at every level. He comes back. I can't even touch him because he played it nonstop the whole deployment. So there you go. If you want to get better at video games, enlist in the Navy. Thank you for your service. Okay, so we're going to go into this channel here. He's got 695 subscribers, a bit more than me, so I'm a little jealous, but not too bad. Oh, and so it opens up my story, how I lost my hand. Okay, so clearly it's not it's not a by choice thing. So this is actually it's a nearly 18-minute video. So normally I would say that's too long for a channel trailer, but I think that anyone coming to this channel, given what I saw, I was curious about the one-handed dimension of it. So the fact that right off the bat he's offering to answer that question, I think is actually a good choice. So I think this is a channel trailer. It makes a lot of sense. The title of it is My Story, and then in parentheses, How I Lost My Hand, again, the I is lowercase. So what I would recommend is retitling this video. I suggest it should just be called How I Lost My Hand, no parenthetical, and capitalize the I. Let's see, the description of this video. Leave a like and share if you enjoyed the video. Make sure you check out my other videos. Also, if you enjoy my content, subscribe and join the family. Thanks. This is okay stuff for below the fold. But I think your top 3 lines really need to be a description of what the video is about. It's important because that's what is going to help viewers want to click on it. And you see, the description at first needs to get people to want to click and watch the video, and hopefully the whole video. Getting those interactions, the like, the share, the subscribe, is something that you want after they've watched the video. Because who's going to do that on a video they haven't seen yet, a channel they don't know? I don't think many people would recommend something they know nothing about. For one thing, they're tying their name to the recommendation. So why would you want to put your name on something that you don't know anything about? Could reflect poorly on you. I don't think people would want to do it. So I think the first 3 lines of the description, and again, there's something that I call keyword alignment, where you want the same keywords to appear in your title, your description, and your tags. In fact, it should also be spoken by you in the video and appear in the closed captioning if you do that. Because those are all things that YouTube's going to look at. And so it's going to say, okay, he mentions it in all these 5 or 6 places. Then clearly that's what this video is about. So if people search that term, you're going to appear higher in those rankings. So that's what I recommend for the description of this video that's serving as a channel trailer. Thanks, John, for sharing. That's cool. Maybe we can help more people. And also, if people aren't able to watch this live, this will be viewable afterwards. And if I do review your channel, or even if for whatever reason you want to use some of this video on your channel, I officially grant you permission, with the one caveat: if you could please just mention my channel, Vacation Impossible, in the description. Maybe put a little something on screen, possibly, but just mention the description is the minimum I ask if you want to download this video and use it on your channel or wherever else you can do that. Just please mention us. That's all I ask. So anyways, that's my take on this here. So looking here, he's got a couple featured channels. Shows some popular channels are listed there. And the only sort of playlist on the main screen is uploads. I would suggest that on any channel, as long as you have as long as you've made at least 9 videos, what does it say on the cupboard? Dishes and utensils available upon request. And the other thing is just talking about details of the room. I'm staying in a place called the Mayfair Motel, which sounds dodgy, but it's actually really quite nice. And frankly, they've got better Wi-Fi than Hilton's, so I'm happy. And I got it for like $80 a night, which is, that's Canadian, so I think I got a pretty good deal. So anyways, if you have at least 9 videos on your channel, you should have at least 3 lines of playlisty things on your channel that people can see. To make it look like you've made some content, to look organized, to look curated. So Uploads at the top is fine because your most recent videos will show there. What I'd recommend for this person is try to find something that's like a theme of videos where you have at least 3 videos on a similar theme. Maybe you're all playing Call of Duty, or maybe they're all reviews, or maybe they're all live plays or let's plays or whatever, and make at least one playlist based on a content category. And then under that, I would also suggest there's an option that you can put in your most popular videos as sort of a playlist, a list of videos. So I would recommend that every channel should have at least like those 3 minimum lines of things so that it looks like you've got a decent enough amount of content and you're taking the time to curate it to some degree. Okay, let's take a look here. Got links to Facebook and Google+. And again, if you don't have a Twitter for your channel, this is easy to do, and it's a set it and forget it thing. Go to Twitter, create an account for your YouTube channel. Then go onto YouTube and link it up. And when you upload a new video, there's a checkbox to share about your upload on Twitter. And it'll remember that that's checked. So you check it once, and then every time you upload a video, it will tweet about it. So if there are people who prefer to follow things that way, it's like you said it, you forget it, it's automated, but it could be serving another segment of your audience who might want to know about your videos in a different channel method. For example, I really love Pat Contri and Cinemassacre and stuff like that. Pat Contri is a better example because he's inconsistent when he uploads a new Ask Frank or Flea Market Madness or Pat the NES Punk. And so I generally find out about that through Twitter, not so much my notifications in YouTube. And that's just how it works for me. So, looking at the design, it's got Tuxie. Very clear, easy to read, good contrast. That's fine. There's something written behind it. I can't quite make out. Yeah, I don't know. The text behind that I would take out because it's just kind of distracting. So if that's an option, the text that you can't read behind it. It's got 2 pictures of like guns or whatever. Again, I think that that does indicate that it's a gaming channel, and that's not a bad thing. But I think possibly having something about this person's unique thing, the one-handed gamer dimension, having something else there would have it a bit more value. So let's take a look at the About page. For the channel description. Yeah, you see, this is interesting. So this doesn't match what was showing in the search results. So this has probably been updated sometime, I'd probably say within the last 2 weeks, and hasn't propagated to search results yet. So what it says here is easygoing, but sometimes I lose my stuff. It doesn't say stuff. One-handed YouTuber / gamer from Finland. I bring video blogs, gameplays, and commentaries for you guys to watch. I think that's great. My first suggestion is just switch the first 2 lines. Put one-handed YouTuber gamer from Finland at the top, because that's really going to be that initial, what's this about? Do I have any interest at all? And then the fact that you're easygoing but sometimes freak out or whatever, that gives some color to it, and then you kind of go from there. But otherwise, pretty good instincts there. If you're doing gameplays and stuff like that, maybe after this, mentioning some of the games that you've played will probably help with searching, because that'll be more SEO friendly. If people are searching for, potentially one-handed Call of Duty player, that is possibly something that somebody might search. So it's a very interesting premise for a channel. It looks like it might be worth checking out at some point because I'm curious about, some of the challenges. For example, specialized controllers, and are those controllers, what are the rules around those controllers for competitive gameplay? If that's something that's a dimension to what they do, I'd be curious about that. I'm not big into this stuff. Okay, yeah, it looks like the links I gave to Martin was what he was looking for. So anyways, that's Tuxie. Just going to move on here to Rothenium. Don't know if I'm saying that right. I apologize for mangling channel names. One thing I love about our group is that we are truly international, but one of the challenges that's presenting sometimes is, sometimes things are in different languages, for example. And so thank God that Facebook offers to translate a lot of stuff. Now, we can't apply our 4 rules unless we can read what you've written, so we need a full and complete English translation in order to be able to review it. Yeah, John, I'd like to watch him take down some two-handed players too. I think that'd be fun. So let's see, Rothenium. It's got 1.5 thousand subscribers, so like 3 times my subscriber count. Jealous. Welcome to Rothenium. Here you will find fun video game and comedy videos. If you love games as much as I do, subscribe now. It's not a bad description. It's nice and tight. I don't know that you need to say welcome, but saying welcome allows him to get his channel name in there. So that's the keyword alignment where the channel name also appears in the channel description. So I probably wouldn't begrudge that. I don't think I have much to add to it. We've got sort of what looks like a watercolor painting of a guy with a backwards ball cap, headphones, and a controller. So, I mean, I look at that and I instantly know it's a gamer. So I don't think I have much feedback here. This is good. He's got 260 videos. I'll click into it here. All right, he's got a channel trailer. Welcome to Ruthenium 100 something. That truncates on the title. Welcome to Ruthenium. I hope you enjoy my content. New video every day, Monday to Friday, Saturday this time. Follow me on. So instead of I hope you enjoy my content, I don't think that adds value to viewers. For example, I could be wrong about this, but honestly, hearing about content, unless you're a YouTube creator, I don't know that. To me, it's an off-putting word. But maybe that's just me. But it's kind of sound like jargon or whatever. And just saying, I hope you enjoy my content. I mean, I think that's implied with everyone. I doubt people put out videos and say, I hope you hate this, you know. Although, I don't know, maybe there's a couple people out there that are trying to, like, upset people. But so what I would think is rather than saying I hope you enjoy my content, maybe give a couple of examples of the games you play, or just talk about the genres or the systems. Be like, we do PS3 and Xbox One and blah blah blah, or we do first person shooters and RPGs, or we love retro games or whatever. That'll help a little bit more with the SEO. So we've got a featured channel box here, and I see that we've got quite a few channels there. That's fine. And I'm recognizing some of these titles. Grana Banana is one of the top ones. He's one of the members of our little Facebook group here, so it's nice to see you guys supporting each other in some manner. I like that. And he's right above Markiplier, so suck it Markiplier, I guess, huh? The banana wins on that one. Looking at the banner, I really like the design. It's got sort of a Prometheus-like font thing going on. The white outline of the controller is very nice. I have no criticism there. I think it's actually, the background doesn't tell me much about what you're doing, but the image of the controller does. So I think this is a great design aesthetic. I have no complaints or suggestions there. Got an Instagram, Facebook link, a link to your own website that is pulling the tiny little ICO file. That looks really good. I would love to know how you made that ICO file look that good. For those of you who don't know, an ICO file is when you go to a website and at the top of the website on the left, there's in your browser, there's like a little icon. And certain websites, if they upload an ICO file, that will change over to their logo or whatever. But that thing is like no pixels. It's like 9 by 9 pixels or some nonsense. It's ridiculously small. So I found it very hard to draw anything that looks any good. Mine looks like crap. I'm just going to own that. If you want, you go to Vacation Impossible's YouTube channel, you see the link. You go to vacationimpossible.ca, you'll see it in the top left hand on your. It's no good. I mean, it's better than nothing, but I don't know how to do it well. And this actually looks like it has a lot of detail for the number of pixels you're allowed to use, so I'm curious, how did you do that? Twitter link, Google+, that's all good. Going over to the About page. Description, welcome to Ruthenium. Here you will find fun video game and comedy videos. If you love games as much as I do, subscribe now. Yeah, so this is pretty good for what's here. I would just suggest fleshing it out with a second paragraph, talking perhaps about why you do it, and maybe, again, specifically systems, games, genres, something like that, something nice and searchable. Because right now, if someone were to search, other than searching for you, and if they don't know you, they wouldn't, there's video game, comedy, I don't know many other words there. WordPress. Sorry, John, are you talking about WordPress as a way of making an ICO file, or are you talking about something else? Because if you're talking about like podcast hosting, I know that can work. A lot of people use that. That is about all that I have here. Oh, it's interesting. I noticed that the order of channels on the featured banner changed when I went to the About page. Maybe the order is randomized, because like H3H Productions was on both, but it's in a different position. So maybe my joke about Suck It Markiplier wasn't actually fair. Maybe the order isn't under our control. The ICO WordPress? Really? I don't understand. WordPress is a blog hosting platform. So, what? But I am very curious. I think that's it for Rothium for now. We're going to go check out Defending the Game. Not a lot of viewers this time around. Maybe I should have just kept it to the morning session. Well, hopefully these channel owners will be happy that I did this and be able to watch it after it's posted. Okay, let's see. Doing a search for Defending the Game. Sounds like a game reviewer. Cool logo. I like that. Maybe I'm wrong. I'm just not even sure what you're saying. I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm just saying I don't get it. Like, if your website is basically just hosting WordPress, then maybe did they have like pre-made icons you could use? Shows up in the tab. Don't know what you're trying to say there. Anyways, Defending the Game. Lovely logo. That's fantastic. Excuse me. Good name. Description. We're Defending the Game, and we're all about comedy and gaming. We play every genre there is and make a point to have both. That's good. I've got no feedback on that. That's a good description and a great logo and a good name. No criticism. The icon shows up in the tab. Yes, it does. You're absolutely right. For tab browsing, the icon does show up in the tab. Okay, going into Defending the Game. 293 videos, 520 subscribers. So we have that in common. I have around the same number of subscribers. I think I'm at like 530, and I've got 350 odd videos out. No, I just released video 350. I know that. So I'm seeing some related channels on the side, and I am recognizing some channels from the Facebook group again. Scouse Mouse is being represented here. That's nice. Love to see you guys promoting and supporting each other. The banner, Defending the Game, looks pretty good. It's, I don't know, where the and game meet each other in the design is a little funny. It's hard to tell what's on top of what. But other than that, it looks really good. It's reminiscent of that old kind of, what was it? It was the arcade game that also came up on home consoles where it's like Dragon's Lair, I think, where it was super animated like an old style Disney film, but it was like bloody impossible to play. It's like that kind of a style aesthetic, and I like that. Welcome to the Home of. I would probably drop the Welcome to the Home of. I don't think you need it. New videos on Mondays and Wednesdays, live streams on Fridays, that's good. It's on a black background, which makes it pop, which is nice, but I also feel like there's wasted space in the wings, so I don't know if there's like, cartoon versions of the hosts you could put maybe on either side or something. That might look nice. Looking at the links with the banner, they all seem to be Facebook. Let me just see. Facebook Defending the Game, Retro Computer Museum, and something else. GameCheck 27 that has some sort of bizarre URL extension on there. It's interesting having 3 Facebook links and nothing else. I already did my rant about Twitter on this live stream, so I do strongly suggest you do a set it and forget it Twitter as a bare minimum, just to mix it up. And I'm wondering if these links are the best place for these sorts of things. I'm not sure. Retro Computer Museum sounds like a cool thing to support. Okay, so what's serving as the channel trailer is funny Skyrim horse glitch during, presumably, gameplay. It runs about a minute, so that's good. It's something funny. It gives people a quick opportunity, I think, just to see what you're all about. I see that you've got the watermark in the bottom right-hand corner. That is, again, your pretty cool logo. So well done there. I think that works good. One thought, again, that I mentioned, I think, in the previous live stream, the logo that you can put, the branding watermark, you do have the option of when it appears, and so I would suggest possibly not having it appear instantly. Maybe let the video go for a little bit and then have it pop up. Thanks for the thumbs up. Then have it pop up after a few seconds. Possibly, I don't know, because if there's too much branding initially, I don't know if it might be off-putting for people. Just my thought. Might not be anything to it. So let's see the description. We experience a funny Skyrim horse glitch during game's opening. You probably say the game's opening. That's fine. Instead of the gate to Helgen opening as normal so that the prisoner escort cart can ride into town, the gate never opens. This cause, and goes from there. That seems fine. It's a description, lots of good searchable terms in there. It's SEO friendly, I think. Would it be worth putting up a link to each channel? Each channel I'm reviewing? Not sure what you're asking. Okay, so anyways, this looks pretty good. Actually, I'm just going to look at their thumbnails for a second. They put a nice orange outline around the image. Right, this is Nathan Cox's channel, isn't it? Because I recognize that guy. I shouldn't have to go down to the thumbnails before I recognize that. So, Nathan, if this is you, I really recommend those two. Oh, I see. There's you and there's someone else. Someone else seems to change. Yeah, I mean, it might be. Part of what I'm trying to do here is see how searchable it is based on their channel name. And using my phone and the desktop or my Surface isn't as friendly to share the links. It's not a bad idea, but it'd be a little tricky to pull off right now. If I tried getting it all working on my Surface, if I did, it'd be a lot easier. But alas, no go. And I think that Facebook Live just hates, like, portrait. I mean, landscape. Because I tried doing it on my phone landscape, tried doing it on my Surface landscape, hated it. Portrait on my phone, everything's fine. Facebook being Facebook. Anyways, if you're the only consistent person on the show, then I think that cartoon version of yourself with an outline, popping that up into the banner as well, that is a good idea. That would help your branding and recognition. But this looks, good thumbnails. No criticism there. Like to see the Mega Man. I like retro games. Okay, let's check the About tab. We are defending the game, and we're all about comedy and defending games. Because someone has to defend the games. Yeah, that's okay. I think, like, one thing we think about, like, the angry video game nerd and other people out there, personalities like him that get upset and angry about games. You could explicitly say something like, it's easy to attack a game. We choose to defend a game, or something like that. Because someone has to defend the games, I don't think you've set up the premise fully for that thought. We're a team that do Let's Plays of just about every game we can get our hands on. Classics like Spyro, Disney's Aladdin, Lion King, or brand new games like Monster Hunter and A Way Out. We play every genre there is and make a point to have both male and female commentary. Laugh with us, cry with us. We upload an edited video every Monday and Wednesday and live stream every Friday. This is fine. I have, like, nothing to add to that, really. That's actually a really good description. And so, yeah, you got the links. I already talked about links. So, I mean, this is pretty good. 38,000 views. So, yeah. I think you're on the right track there defending the game. So, that actually takes care of my backlog, because I still don't know who CJ Play is. I do think there was one channel in an earlier live stream that I didn't capture. I'll go back and try to find that. Anyone who's watching, if you want me to review your channel, just comment the channel name. And I pretty much cleared the backlog, so please do so, and we'll get to that. I'm just getting caught up on some things. Defend E.T. on the Atari. You know what's so funny? I went to Portland Retro Gaming Expo the last couple of years. And the first time I went there, I went the Friday to go pick up. Hey, Martin, no worries. The earlier parts of this will be viewable later. If you want to give me your channel name, I'd be happy to look and do a review for you. We're all caught up right now. So anyways, first time I went to Portland Retro Gaming Expo, I'm going to the convention center, the Oregon Convention Center, and I'm trying to figure out where I get my pass. I've been to, like, Comic-Con in Seattle, the Emerald City Comic-Con before, but I hadn't been to this event, so I wasn't sure where to go, trying to figure it out. And I go on, and so I see a door, and I'm walking towards it, and a group of people comes out, and someone's holding the door for me behind them so that I can walk in, and it's Howard Scott Warshaw. That was my first Portland Retro Gaming Expo experience, is Howard Scott Warshaw held the door for me. And I was like, as I'm, like, walking through the door, I couldn't think of anything to say, but I was like, and then I got my passes or whatever, right? And I'm going to leave, and I see, like, a block and a half away, Howard Scott Warshaw's walking down the street, and I think he's talking like Pat Contry or somebody, and I'm like, oh wow, I wish I could be a fly on the wall there. And then hold on a second, I just got to get this channel name, CJ Rage Spider. Kind of a cool name. On Twitch and YouTube. I think we're just doing YouTube today. I don't know enough about Twitch to be helpful there. My channel. Hey John, what's the actual, like, technical name of it? Is it Stupid Robot Fighting League? Is that the name of it? Is that the actual proper name? Who is that? Are you asking who is Howard Scott Warshaw? Did you really just want me to... You want them to defend E.T. and you don't know who Howard Scott Warshaw is. He made the game. He made Yar's Revenge, which was super popular and successful, and really kind of put Atari on the map in some areas, and helped them grow their brand quite a bit. So he was like the darling of Atari for a while. And when ET came along, they gave him 5 weeks to make a game that would at best take 5 months to make, and he made ET. So he made one of the best Atari games and arguably the worst. I'm just repeating things I've heard. I haven't played much Atari myself. I started out with the NES. That's where I began, for the most part. I played like Mario Brothers on the Atari and like one or two other things, but that's about it. But anyways, so yeah, so I leave the convention center and I see like Pat Contry and Howard Scott Warshaw talking, and so like crossing the street or something, and I'm like, oh wow, I'd love to be there, but whatever. I'm going to go have some dinner. So I went to Red Robin or whatever, and then Gamester81, I think is his name, was sitting at the table next to me. I'm not a huge fan of his, but like I knew who he was at least. He's a YouTuber, way more successful than me by all metrics. And it was just like, this is Portland Retro Gaming Expo, and it's awesome. There's like developers and YouTube personalities like with the normal folk, and so I make an effort to go, even if there's not a lot that I'm shopping for. If Pat Contry's there, I'm there. Is basically my feelings. So, anyways. Martin says, first time I joined a live stream on this group. We haven't done this many times before. I did this... Actually, this was inspired by... What's his name? Kylan LaManche or something like that. He did this as like a wizard or something like a year ago. And I thought that was awesome. And then in December, I had a day to kill at the Hilton LAX. It is Stupid Robot Fighting League. Okay, cool. You're on the list. And so I was like, I'm going to try that thing that he did a little bit. And so I did a live stream that focused solely on channel descriptions, because I had noticed a lot of people's channels in the group had descriptions that weren't doing them a lot of good. They weren't like optimized for SEO, and I didn't think they were giving a lot of value to potential audience members, and I don't think it was helping them in search results. So I did a special live stream from the Hilton LAX where I just did channel descriptions. And so this trip here to Victoria, I have a day in the hotel again, and so I put it out on the group a couple of days ago. Hey, what would you like me to do? The same thing, something else, like a broad topic, and they just said broad channel reviews was the consensus. So that's what I'm doing. All right, so let's check out CJ Rage Spider. That's a cool name. I like that. Let's go over to YouTube here. Just telling the mods I'm doing this in case they're curious. Okay, over to YouTube. Or back to YouTube. Stupid R. Yeah, my name is Ray, so at least it's not coming up Stupid Ray. Alright, we're going to search CJ Rage Spider. Stupid Robot League is next. Come on, computer. Hello, computer. Okay, there we go. CJ Rage Spider, I like what you do with the capitalization there. I was actually going to recommend you do it that way. So that way you capitalize your channel. I think you should make that super habit where like you never type out your channel name without doing that capitalization for consistent branding. So your logo is a spider, and it's reminiscent of Spider-Man, but it's not in the Spider-Man color scheme. So it ties in with the spider thing, but I think that it could be made a little bit more unique. I rage at games, and at the weekend I dress as Spider-Man for my job, and my nickname is CJ. You dress as Spider-Man for your job. So do you work at like Universal Studios as like a mascot, or are you like one of the people like across the street from the what is it, that talk show where they have all the people across the... Why am I blanking on this? In Hollywood. I keep wanting to say Jimmy Fallon, but it's not him. It's the guy that used to do The Man Show. I've subscribed to his channel. Oh, wait, I've got it right here. Jimmy Kimmel. The people across the street from Jimmy Kimmel, or birthday parties, or like, I'm curious. What jobs get you to dress up as Spider-Man? If it's Universal Studios, that's awesome. Children's party mascot. That's cool. I imagine that's with like a company. You work for a company, or is it like freelance? So, anyways, Charity work, that's nice. I do some charity work myself with the Mario Marathon to support Child's Play. I guess, do you ever like visit hospitals and stuff as Spider-Man? I imagine that would be probably well received by the kids. Might be hard work to do, though. So again, looking at your logo, it's a little generic. And so the rage part, I'm almost thinking, and my ideas might be crazy, so, don't necessarily think that they're all great. But if you could put like a face on the spider that looks angry, like almost Robot Chicken. Robot Chicken has, like, if you haven't seen it, it's Seth Green's show, very funny, and they use like little toys in stop motion animation, but they often sort of like animate like big eyes or mouths on them to be really expressive. So I'm almost thinking like if you could maybe zoom in a little bit on the spider, maybe not, but just put something like that where it's like, angry spider. That'd be kind of cool. Work for a company, do Spider-Man hospital visits. Man, that is noble work, that hospital visit thing. I can't imagine, I got to imagine that's got to be a little hard seeing kids that are in hospital and stuff, but raising their spirits that way, kudos to you, man. I don't know that I could do it. So, it's great. The people in our group, we got some of the best people on the planet in our group as far as I'm concerned. Okay. Hey guys, it's CJ Rage Spider, and again, like I'm saying, do that capitalization thing consistently is my advice. YouTube channel, free admission. Oh, that's what free admission... I thought you were trying to ask if there was free admission to Portland Retro Gaming Expo. Thanks for clarifying that. I'm putting you on the list. That's an interesting channel name. I can only imagine the kind of searches that land people on your channel. That's a bit of an SEO hack there, maybe, I think. Come on. There we go. Sorry. Surface keyboard is being silly. All right. Back to this here. So, hey guys, it's CJ Rage Spider. Thanks for dropping by. If you like what you see, web sling over to Twitch for my live streams. Finally, if you, and that's where it cuts off on the search results. Thanks, Martin. So I would say drop off the hey guys. I said this a lot, but conversationally in video and in podcast it's good. But I think in text as a description, you don't need to say hey guys. No one's searching hey or guys. If they're searching guys, your channel's probably not what they're looking for. So you could just begin with it's CJ Ridge Spider. Thanks for dropping by. Again, I don't think that helps you with search. You could probably cut that part out so that more of the meat of your description will appear in the search results. So if you like what you see, web sling over to Twitch for my live streams. I like that. What I would suggest is start off by saying something that has that name, CJ Rage Spider, so that you have your keyword alignment, but also something that talks a little bit about what you do really early on in the description, and then pivot to the web sling over to Twitch, because I like that line. It's a good line. 760 subscribers, 336 videos. All right, so we're sort of at similar YouTube levels. I have 530 subscribers, 350 videos. Spider Gaming new intro. Okay, so looking just at what you have currently serving as a channel trailer, it looks like you've got a channel trailer, which is good, 10 seconds, great duration. It looks, I'm suspecting that there has been at some point a rebranding of the channel, I'm thinking. Correct me if I'm wrong here, but the channel trailer looks like you should be called Spider Gaming, not CJ Rage Spider, and also on your banner I'm seeing CJ Spider-Man Gamer. So it looks like there's some brand confusion about what your name is. My recommendation is, as much as you feel comfortable doing, pick which one is you. Please don't look at that. It's very generic. If you're talking about your channel trailer, don't worry, I'm not. A couple ground rules for this live stream. I'm not watching any videos and I'm not subscribing to anyone because I don't want people to come here hoping to get more views and subscriptions. This is about feedback. So don't worry, I won't be watching. Although the still initially, like Spider Gaming on top of the planet, looks very nice, looks professional. But my advice is pick one name, one way of displaying that name, and stick with it consistently. My channel's Vacation Impossible. We always capitalize the V and the I. Sometimes we don't have a space between the words, and sometimes we do. But beyond that, we're super consistent. That is our brand. So hopefully it's more recognizable. And as a matter of copyright, let's say your channel blew up tomorrow. Let's say you go to bed tonight and you wake up tomorrow and you've got 1,000 subscribers and 1 million views. I don't know how many views you have, but let's just say that's a big number for you. And all of a sudden, you're monetized, money starts rolling in, and suddenly Marvel notices you're cashing in on the Spider-Man name. CJ Rage Spider is my final form. I like that. Final form, like Final Fantasy or like, a JRPG. I like that. And I was just about to say, CJ Rage Spider is a good way to go. You could shorten it to Rage Spider, but that's your choice to make. But I would drop the full name Spider-Man because that's a Marvel property. And so, yeah. So let's talk about the banner for a second here. There's the text is good, is easy to read. It pops. Good contrast. That's good. It says official channel in the top, and similar to some feedback I gave to somebody earlier today, is if you're not well known outside of YouTube, and if there aren't people pretending to be you, saying official channel I don't think adds much. I think you could do something better with the space. Now, you are on Twitch, and so if you have a larger following on Twitch, and they might be looking for you on YouTube, and you want them to know that they found the real you, then maybe saying official would make sense if that's an issue you're facing. But if not, that's why I changed from Spider-Man, because of that reason. Excellent. Well, we're on the same, wave length here. I've noticed that you've got Lego Spider-Man in the top right corner. Looks good, but again, that is copywritten content that you probably don't own. So if you can find some other thing to replace that is more unique to you and more that you own, that'll be more future-proof, because if you did blow up, then you won't get a cease and desist letter from Marvel or something. So some different options like that. I talked about the idea of googly eyes on, a spider logo or something. That might be an idea, like rage eyes or something, like the Robot Chicken idea. Or you might be able to find somebody on Fiverr or someone else who can do a cartoon that's more of you. Or another idea I've thought about. I've had 3 channels copy your name. Oh, wow. Okay, so that is a legit issue with you there. So yeah, official channel makes sense. So yeah, and also if their channels, they're copying your name, are they copying your content? If they're copying your content, you should go report them and take them down. If they just are copying your name, then yeah, official, that's fine. You can totally keep that. Anyways, I had this idea in the back of my head for years now. I don't know if it's a good idea or not, but I was thinking, what if I went to a caricaturist and they did a caricature of me, and then that became like my avatar? I don't know, but that might be one way. Or you could get, like, given that you're sort of Spider-Man, you could go to maybe a convention and get a commission. That might be pricey, depending on whoever. Or you could just go to Fiverr and get somebody to do a cartoon for you or something, but something that you own the rights to replace that Spider-Man could be quite good. They re-uploaded your... Shut them down. This makes me so angry. Go in and report them. The reporting function on YouTube for misrepresentation or not identity theft. I forget the exact word that YouTube uses, but go in to report the channel or the specific video, and just make sure that you have the URL to your channel ready to paste in. Because like I saw some people were uploading like Rachel Maddow content or something, and it was annoying because it was screwing up my search results when I was trying to find a specific video I wanted to watch. So I was going to be like, I'm going to report this channel. I got a little bit of time. I'm angry. I'm going to report this channel. But because I wasn't the owner and I didn't have the URL to her channel ready to go, it's a cumbersome process to report if it's not you and you don't have your URL ready. But because this is you, shut them down. Stop them. Because, yeah, man, you can't let them get away with that, is my strong feelings. Anyways, getting back here, you've got a subscribe image in... It took 9 days before they took them down. Okay, well, you did it, so, well, good on you. I know that that's not fun to do, but you did the right thing, so thanks for doing that and defending your brand. And 9 days for YouTube is actually relatively quick. That's not that bad. Hopefully they weren't getting many views. So getting back to your banner, there is a YouTube subscribe thing that Spider-Man is just above. Of course, that's not a clickable button because it's just part of the image. So, and from the viewer standpoint on your channel, it's just directly above and to the right of a legitimate subscribe button that people can use that's functional. So I don't know that that subscribe button is doing much for you. Now, I'm not seeing any social links here. So one thing that some people do, I don't personally, but you can create a URL that actually takes people to your channel with a pop-up that says, do you want to subscribe, like a confirmation. You could put something there if you wanted to. Personally, I would think that if you have any other social media you linked, like your Twitch should be linked there, and I'm not seeing that. So you should definitely look up your Twitch. I was talking earlier in the video. You can do a set it and forget it Twitter account for your YouTube channel that I recommend. Need a definitive logo. That is a struggle. I mean, I went the longest time without a logo, and even once I made mine, I'm still not entirely sure it's the right thing to do. I don't have color brand consistency. That's my problem. Like, my banners don't match my logo, don't match my... Anyways, this isn't about me. But definitely, at the very minimum, you should have your Twitch link in there. So looking at your intro, a couple of things. The description isn't capitalized. I think proper capitalization looks more professional. It's an easy 2-second thing you can do to make that look a little bit better. And there's no description for the video. So you really want to put a description in there and have the description include every word from the title. You don't know how to do that. Twitch, Twitter, and Facebook page. I will show you. I think. Let me open another window. I'll go to my channel where I'm logged in. Actually, I'll go to my second channel. My secret second channel. We've got a big thing coming. We're doing a little surprise thing with Small YouTubers Boost that's going to be coming out later that has something to do with what I'm playing with here. And what I'm doing right now. So stay tuned. Switch account. Add account. Never mind. I'll just do it on my regular one. Let me see if I can remember how to do this. It's not hard. It's just you got to remember the specific steps. And for me, it helps to do it as I talk about it. You know, they did do that new polymer look for YouTube a little while ago, and so it has changed how things work a little. Let me just try. Bear with me here. Okay. I think? Yes. Okay. So when you're logged into YouTube, go to your About page. And up in the banner, or near the banner, there should be a Customize Channel button you can click. And so then, once you click on that, if you hover your mouse over the description, the email, and the links field at the bottom, there's going to be a little pencil icon in the top right-hand corner that you can click on to edit. So that's how you get go down. So you want to go to your About page, click Customize Channel, scroll to the bottom to the link section, and click on the pencil, and that's where you should be able to start adding your links. And pro tip, when you're adding your Twitter link, don't put the S on HTTPS. If you have that S, take it out. Otherwise, the logo won't look like the Twitter logo, and they'll just think it's a random website. That's something I learned the hard way. So that is how you add links to your YouTube channel. Hopefully that made sense and is relatively easy to follow. It's fairly intuitive once you get around to doing it. I'll just close that and get back to your channel here. So yeah, add those links. And then the fact that you got to 760 subscribers, I'm guessing you're probably more successful on Twitch than YouTube. And so that's probably driving your subscriptions here. But let's start getting some organic things from YouTube so that your Twitch helps your YouTube and your YouTube helps your Twitch. You're pulling audience in from both sides and cross-pollinating for maximum exposure is a good idea. I'm glad you're finding this useful. This is good. This is why I woke up today. I wanted to help people. Looking at uploads, popular videos, past live streams. That looks good. That's all really good. One possible thing you might want to consider adding is creating a playlist for... Actually, you know what? I'm going to look at your playlist. You might already have one. Dead by Daylight, The Finest Line Between Good and Evil, Spider-Man Attempts Dead by Daylight, Star Wars Battlefront, GTA Funny Moments. Okay, so yeah, you've already got some playlists, which is good. Playlists are often an underutilized function by a lot of YouTubers. Your subs came from YouTube to Twitch. Oh, okay, that's cool. It's interesting. Just because your descriptions seem a little bit light, it's interesting that I wonder how they discovered you. I'd be very curious to see your analytics about traffic sources. Very curious about that. Because that can tell you a lot. If there's a particular search term that's driving people to you, then you might want to keep that in mind. Put those words in your description, make videos of that type, however you want to use that information. Also, if they're coming from particular websites, like if it's coming from Reddit and you're not on Reddit, and somebody's sharing your stuff on Reddit, that's kind of cool. Maybe go find it so you can go upvote that stuff if that's what's happening. Or if there's a message board that might be talking about you, you could go in and maybe engage and just sort of increase the interaction on that. So, anyways, on your homepage, I would suggest maybe creating one more row of videos, maybe two, videos of a particular subject matter. So, for example, I'm seeing here you did some Battlefront, Grand Theft Auto, you got some mobile gaming. Maybe even if you only just pick one of those and kind of have that as a highlight, it's not a bad idea. Only have 200 Twitch followers. Well, I have like 7, but I'm not a gamer, so I'm useless when it comes to Twitch. Let's go back to your homepage here. Yeah, I'm actually letting the intro play. I know I said I wouldn't do that, but it's 10 seconds. And yeah, I see that there's a watermark there. So, if you're looking for something where you can design something without a watermark, you have a wiki page. Are the also building their own stupid robot? Yeah, I created a Vacation Impossible subreddit as well. I think one person upvoted one thing there, so I'm not really sure how to make good use of it. Good that you're using Google+. Managed to start. Got permission from the mods. On Reddit? Is it like a subreddit or something? Or did you... I'm not sure exactly what you mean. But you have a wiki page. Martin, I would love to see your wiki page. If you want to private message that to me on Facebook, I would like to check that out. Partly because I'm curious, and I'm not going to lie, I might want to steal your idea a little bit, because, and we're in completely different niches, so don't worry, I'm not coming for you there. But when YouTube announced the new monetization rules, I was trying to do everything I could to promote my channel and also try to get them to rethink it and maybe change the thresholds. I thought they set them way too high. I wanted, instead of 1,000 subscribers, I wanted it to be like 300 subscribers. Instead of 4,000 hours, I wanted like 3,000 hours. I thought that would be really good because they both start with 3, it's easier to remember, and I thought it would be more achievable, that it would inspire people to try to get it instead of being discouraged by this really high number. So one of the things I did is I was trying to get out there in the media, and so I actually gave interviews to the Daily Beast and the Canadian Press. And so there were articles in both places. And in the Canadian Press, it was reprinted on the websites of newspapers coast to coast to coast, all mentioning my channel. And I'm like, does that make me notable enough for a wiki page? I don't know. I know you're not supposed to make the wiki page about yourself, but that would be interesting. See kind of how you did that. I know that, like, for example, in our Facebook group, I'm just thinking out loud here, we don't do sub for sub, but if somebody wants to do a follow for follow on Twitter or Instagram, it's not against those platforms' rules, so you can do that in our group. It's not against our rules. Subsequently, if there was, like, a wiki exchange, you write my wiki, I write yours. I don't know. Is that a crazy idea? Would that be wrong? Is that against Wikipedia's rules? I don't know. Oh, I see what you mean there, John. Interesting. That's quite the accomplishment. Yeah, I mean, honestly, I found out about James Rolfe through Wikipedia. I was looking up some old game because I was curious about, I forget whether it was available on like a Virtual Console or something when the Wii was coming out, and it mentioned the AVGN reviewed it. I'm like, what the hell's an AVGN? And that's how I discovered him. I was like, oh my god, this is the best thing ever. So having a Wikipedia page for your channel, if you can do it. Wikipedia has rules about notoriety. You have to be notable to have a page, but there could be some possibility there. So, looking at the channel, got pretty good thumbnails. I like that. I like that Spider-Man kind of Star Wars clone trooper something. Look that you did there. That looks cool. I'm gonna say, and I haven't talked too much today about thumbnails, and most of yours are really, really good, but I'm just looking at 3 right now. The Scary Sunday, Dead by Daylight, Spider-Man Scared, the Try to Stay on Track, Racing and More Part 3, and the Killing in the Name of Dead by Daylight, Spider-Man Is. Those 3 look relatively dark. So the rest of yours are really good. Here's a couple of tips if you happen to have Photoshop. It's like a 2-second step that can make your thumbnails look a little bit better, possibly. Oh, you have an editor. That's cool. I don't know if it has this functionality, but if you go into Photoshop or something else, and you can edit the saturation. I find that increasing saturation between 25 and 50% can really help, because I find that when you have the thumbnail looking large on your screen, you see, the colors look more vibrant. You upload it and suddenly it's shrunk down really small, and somehow the colors are less vibrant. And so I think for some reason the scaling of these JPEGs and PNGs, for whatever reason, diminishes the saturation, the vibrancy. I'm not sure if I'm using the right word. Saturation is the function in Photoshop. Hey, glad to keep you entertained while folding laundry. And so if you increase the saturation 25 to 50%, when it scales down, the colors look better. They'll pop more. As well, sometimes that's not quite right. Sometimes I do that and it looks pixelated, or the colors, like red becomes orange, and that's not accurate. I don't want it to be like that. Another thing is you can modify the contrast, and again, increase the contrast anywhere from like maybe 10 to 50%, so that when it scales down, the contrast will still pop. And so those 3 thumbnails are the only ones I suggest tweaking, just because they appear dark and low contrast. But for other people, that's the trick I've been using recently. I don't know if it's making a difference, but it has. I don't think it's hurt. I've been losing subscribers, so I'll take that as a good sign. Okay, so let's look at the About page. Okay, I got quite a few links in the description. So, one thing that I was mentioning earlier is the way that YouTube's description work is you can't hyperlink things in your description. So having all these URLs, the only way that that's going to be really useful for your audience is if somebody goes on desktop, because it's hard to do on mobile. I don't think they would do it. On desktop, they highlight it, they copy it, then they paste it into their browser, and then go. How many people are doing that? I'm not sure. So let's see here. Okay, you talk about who created your profile pic. That's good. That's probably part of your agreement with them, and that should be there. You got those links. That's fine. Biggest donator. Okay, yeah, that's probably like sort of a Twitch thing, because you don't have Super Chat with less than 1,000 subscribers on YouTube. So that's good. That's a pretty good shout out, and he probably wants the channel there. And then you've got Rufino, Torbis, Gaming. Well, let's go back to your main channel, actually, your main page on your channel. Okay. Here's a couple easy wins for you. You might consider it cluttering your channel, and ultimately these decisions, of course, are yours. But on the right-hand side, there are 2 modules you can have when you do the customized channel on this thing. One is popular channels, or recommended channel, or something like that. It's run by YouTube. And so when you don't have that enabled, YouTube doesn't like you very much. I had an experience where I accidentally turned it off for like a minute, because I clicked the wrong thing one time, and then I really quickly went back and re-enabled it, and my Six Flags video that was doing phenomenally well suddenly stopped getting recommended. All my videos suddenly stopped getting recommended, and so I had to slowly reclimb the graph of getting my videos recommended again. I think YouTube punishes people in recommendations if you don't have that module set up. It's just my personal experience in theory, but I recommend people having it. Unfortunately, you can't control the content of the channels that get displayed there. So like after Logan Paul showed the dead body and tased a rat, it was showing up on mine, and I didn't like that. And I tweeted at YouTube quite a bit, because I was kind of furious about that. I didn't want my channel associated with the things that he was doing at that particular time. But there's also a box you can have where you have the channels that you like. And so if you just have the YouTube one, that'll be like 6 channels that YouTube will decide to display. But if you also have your own featured channel box, the YouTube one drops down to just 3 channels. And you can have quite a few showing there. You can have like something like 9. So I notice on your About page you have channel links, but those aren't active clickable links. So for those channels, if you put them on favorite channels on the box earlier on, I think the people that you're doing this with, whether you had an agreement with them or you're just trying to promote them, either way, I think it'll be more effective. Because people will see it on your main channel, not have to click on the About page to see these channels being recommended. And also it'll be clickable, it'll have their profile icon, it'll have a subscribe button right there for them. I think they'll appreciate it more, and then it gets it out of your channel description. So that's just a thought. Do you wish to donate Streamlabs? What's that? Because I thought you couldn't accept money through YouTube unless you had 1,000 subscribers for Super Chat, but I don't have it, so I don't know a lot about it. You can follow me on Twitter, Facebook, Discord. Feel free to message me on PSN. So yeah, the Twitter, the Facebook, and the Discord, you can all put in your links when you go and create the links, and then you can take, again, that out of your description. And then they'll be linkable. No agreement, just friendly neighborhood YouTuber help. Because you're the friendly neighborhood Spider-Man. I like that. I like the theming. It's cool. It's a nice riff you got going there. That's great. But again, like, okay, well, if you want to be friendly and helpful, I think by putting them on your main page in that particular module, it'll help them and help you at the same time. YouTube will like you more. Because YouTube's number one goal, and they've said it a million times since like 2010, is to keep people on the platform. So if you have end cards, for example, you always have to have a video there, not just the subscribe button, because the video keeps them on the platform. So by having those other channels there, they see that as you wanting to keep them on the platform. Your goals are aligned with YouTube's goals. They're going to like you more, and the algorithm's going to know that. Streamlabs through a PayPal account. Oh, interesting. It's interesting because part of it's youtube.streamlabs.com, but you're right. The YouTube is sort of like the subdomain of the Streamlabs in that URL structure, so it's not actually a YouTube thing. That's interesting. Anyways, that's just me learning stuff. That's another reason why I do this. I learn stuff too while we go through this. That's kind of cool. Have you made decent money? If you don't mind my asking, you don't have to talk dollars and cents. I'm just curious. Is that working well for you? Don't worry, I'm not thinking about doing it. I'm just curious. I want to know how you're doing. Hey guys, it's CJ Rage Spider, and then you got that icon of the controller. That's kind of cool. I don't think it helps with search, but it looks cool. Thanks for dropping by. If you like what you see, web sling over. And like I said, the thanks for dropping by. If you like the thanks for dropping by, you can probably cut out. But if the like what you see thing, that sets up the web sling puns. So I say keep that part. Finally, if you want to see more, make sure you have notifications highlighted and ringing so you never miss an upload. Yeah, like I think I said before when I was talking about search results. I would say after your name, describe what you do and sort of like maybe what kind of games and stuff there, and then pivot to the web sling to Twitch for live streams thing. And otherwise, I think it's pretty good. I talked about maybe better places for those links, but I think it's pretty good. I think you're on the right track here. Also, just looking at your channel banner again. Sorry, getting back to that. The background that the text and everything is on. It was about live streams. Hey, I could be accepting donations during these live streams. I don't think anyone would pay. So yeah, your banner, the background, there's like a check mark, a settings gear icon, what looks like a Wi-Fi icon, the three lines that you get in like Firefox to click on your settings, the people icon that looks like MySpace, is probably Facebook. There's 5 stars, which to me reminds me of old YouTube where you could give star ratings, or the 5 stars of like Police Pursuit and GTA. There's a greater than symbol, an asterisk, a YouTube, a dollar sign, a triangle, or perhaps a delta. Pay good money, give you. Sorry, John. Thank you for the feedback. Is that better? This is why I hate portrait. I don't know why Facebook Live doesn't like landscape video. But also, nice paraphrasing from Star Trek 6. Anyway, so yeah, the background here, there's a lot of stuff there, and I'm not sure how much of it relates to your channel, if any of it. So I think the banner could use an overhaul. To be honest, you talk to and it sounds like you need to do it anyways because you're changing your name to CJ Rage Spider, so you want to reflect that in the banner. So that's just one of the components. I already talked about the Spider-Man guy and the official channel part, but just the background there seems like it's kind of generic, particularly where the YouTube logo shows up. It makes me think that just it feels a little clip arty. I don't mean that as any kind of an insult. It's just my first impression, and so I want you to make the best first impression you possibly can. So I think that's all I have to say about that is particularly useful. So it's over to the Stupid Robot Fighting League. Hey, John, since you're watching, the Stupid Robot Fighting League is kind of a cool thing. These guys are in New Zealand. They basically have a metal frame that they hang like non-functional robots off of, and then they attach sticks to the appendages of the robots to their own appendages sitting in a chair behind it, and then they fight. I don't know if I've explained it well. I've been telling everybody at work about your channel, by the way, John. Other John. Sorry, there's two Johns. The guy that runs that channel's name is John. John with an H. I've been telling everyone about your channel, and now I'm telling John without an H right now. Anyways, it's amazing. I've never seen anything like it. It's hilarious and it's well done. But anyways, they've asked us to collaborate with them, and I've been dragging my heels because I've been distracted lately. So here's what they want us to do. They want us to hold up round card signs. Like, there's a wrestling or a boxing match. The girl in the bikini used to come up and say round 1, round 2, whatever. Well, they want us to do something like that. So if you maybe want to print off some round cards, and maybe we could film something at JohnCon that we could then send to John with an H. Then we could be we could be having a a guest appearance in videos coming out of New Zealand without having to go to New Zealand. How cool would that be? And also we'd be supporting a very funny channel that I'm now going to talk smack about. I'm not going to talk smack, but I'm going to think critically here. It's what you asked for. You can't complain now. All right, Stupid Robot Fighting League. John's in, cool. So it's basically a larger version of Rock'em Sock'em Robots. Yeah, but it's controlled by people sitting in chairs. It's awesome. But yeah, you kind of got the right idea. So looking here, I love your profile image. That's perfect. Don't change a thing there. It's power colors of red, white, and black, and it's clear and it's identifiable. And I've seen it before. I was expecting it to come up, so that's good. So, your description, it begins with your channel name. Beautiful. Keyword alignment, well done. No wonder you're owning the search term, Stupid Robot Fighting League. Stupid Robot Fighting League is a league dedicated to fighting robots made from junk with no robotics. Check out how our... Yeah, it's good. My only thought is you do say league twice. And it reminds me of a running gag on the Mario Marathon. Where we're talking about Child's Play charity. We're like, Child's Play charity is a charity, but you already knew that. That's a Ben Cotton joke, otherwise known as Mac Guy or Twitface. And so, I mean, I've been hearing it for years, and I'm a little tired of it, but don't tell him. But it's kind of cute. But here, I'm wondering if a synonym for league or something else might be more helpful, because having the word appear twice doesn't improve its searchability, but a synonym might. I'm not sure what word to use. Group doesn't sound quite right. Cage match? I don't know. Because it's kind of a cage. I don't know. That might be a little misleading. 237 subscribers. That is a goddamn crime that you guys only have 237 subscribers. I'm doing what I can, man, to get the word out. I told everybody at work. The funny thing is, it's not a real league yet. Well, presumably. I mean, they're not real robots yet, right? Oh my god, how amazing would that be if you could get like Granny Mahar or someone to build a real robot to come and just beat the crap out of all your guys' robots. That'd be awesome. You should like troll him on Twitter or something. Don't troll him, but maybe you should like try to contact him on Twitter or something. You never know. I got Will Wheaton to call into the Mario Marathon twice. I got Will Wheaton to mention the Mario Marathon on his TV show on Sci-Fi just through Twitter. And I did meet him at Comic-Con, so that probably helps. But nevertheless, you don't know unless you try. So if you haven't tried that, give it a shot. The worst that they can do is ignore you. Well, the worst they can do is probably block you, or... Yeah, that's about it. Because even if they got all their followers to come after you, then, hey, it's notoriety, right? No such thing as bad press. Okay, so, what do we got here? Welcome to Stupid Robot Fighting League. That's a mouthful, but it's good. Okay, so you got a channel trailer. Looks like it runs about 3 minutes, which... not having watched the video is probably, it might be the time it needs to be. Sometimes these things need to be of a certain duration. It takes me probably about that long to explain the concept of your channel when I'm rushing. So I think that that's actually not bad. 14,000 views on the channel trailer. That's pretty good. So you're like me, I think. You're struggling with subscribers, but you're kicking ass with the views. So, I mean, if it wasn't for YouTube's stupid new monetization rules, I would be content with that. Because that would be what success looks like to me. But they've imposed their own metric, and I could rant for hours. Hey, Eric. Yeah, this is me. I'm the admin of the group. So, hey, I always approve your posts. That's awesome. Thanks for writing posts I can approve. That makes it easier for me. The trailer's junk. It needs redoing. Okay, well, I'll take your word for that. Let's read the description of it. Stupid Robot Fighting League is a YouTube show where two teams of 3 people build a fighting robot from recycled materials in 2 hours. The twist is that there are no robotics. That's a beautiful description. I would drop the word YouTube. I don't think anyone's searching YouTube. I don't think it's helping you. Other than that, I think it's perfect as a description. So that's my only thought there. Let's talk about your banner for a second. It's great, but it can be better, is my feeling. And it doesn't take much at all. I'm looking at the banner, and it's fantastic. From a design element, there's nothing I would change. But looking carefully at the banner, outside of that black outline that kind of looks like a license plate or, I don't know, maybe a computer monitor or something, to the left and the right of that, where the red is, there seems to be a line that's like maybe 3/4 of a centimeter, maybe a full centimeter off of either side from that black rectangle. And so I'm thinking that that's probably because the original image was smaller and then was expanded, and there's a very thin line that's showing up. I think it's really probably easy to go in and fix in Photoshop or something else. If there's an outline, or you could go into the original image. Again, I'm experienced with Photoshop. That's all I really know. You could use the eyedropper to perfectly pick up that red color, and then expand it and then fill, but just check for those lines. Because I just want to go in and erase those lines, and then it would look perfect, as far as I'm concerned. And also, because you've got that nice red background, if you had links, they would pop, but you don't currently. So you've been watching this broadcast since the beginning. You know what I'm going to say about Twitter. Set it and forget it. If you want me to explain that, just let me know. But I think action shots in the banner. Maybe on the sides, because also when you clean up those 2 tiny little lines, it's a nitpick of mine. I mean, seriously, it's beautiful. There is going to be a lot of real estate on the sides that's not being utilized. So you might be able to put like a robot on each side, staring each other down or something. I don't know. I would say your design aesthetic is clean. So if you do go down that road, just be careful don't clutter it up too much, because then you get away from that clean professional aesthetic. That is like the only risk I think there would be in doing something like that. I'm just looking at your thumbnails here. These are pretty solid. You got a lot of text on them. A world first, building an ugly sweater, stupid fighting. That looks like it could maybe benefit from a little text on it. Not everything needs text, but I think that one does, because I don't know what I'm looking at when I look at it right away. But otherwise, it's really good. You got a consistent style. The use of this like orangey red color is consistent, and it's good branding. And so you got your uploads, the league, and created playlists. That's all good. Again, I would consider putting popular videos in there. It's a simple default feature. You can just go into Edit Channel on this page and activate. Hey, John just got John a subscriber. There you go. Hey, John, are they subscribed to us? We're not a robot league, but we can be stupid. We can fight, maybe. There's still, John and I have been filming since 2001, so we go way back. And since, I've mentioned this in the group before, I've got like a 6 to 9 month editing backlog, and I have more ideas than I have time to film. And one of the ideas that John and I have had since 2001 is this idea where we basically pretend that the car ran out of gas on like a desert highway. And the idea was we were going to mount the camera on top of the, like behind the car on a tripod. And we didn't have a tripod until just a few years ago. And it's basically us walking like into the sunset, basically blaming each other for running out of gas. And the dialogue would be stupid. It'd just be like, F you, no F you, no F you. We've wanted to film it for, oh my God, 17 years now, and we still haven't gotten around to doing it. So maybe this August, I don't know. So anyways, we're not hurting for ideas at Vacation Impossible. We're hurting for subscribers and time in the editing bay. And, skill. Anyways, getting back to the review here. Channel's lovely. It's weird. Yeah, you're getting the popular channel version of that widget, which that's not fair. But that will change over at some point to, similar channels or whatever. And when it does, that's one of those many small steps of progress you're going to make up the YouTube ladder. Yeah, okay, Lazy the Day did the sweater robot. Sure, I mean, you can go back to that thumbnail, though. And again, this is probably one where you can increase the saturation to make the blue against the gray pop a little bit more. Throw a quick little text on it. Okay, it was uploaded a month ago. I noticed you closed captioned that video, though, so you weren't being that lazy. You closed captioning an 8-minute video. It's worth doing, but, so hard to call you lazy on that. Anyways, that's that there. I don't think I have much more to say about the base channel. Let's go look at your About page. Yeah, so again, there's no links, but you do mention stupidrobotfightingleague.com for more information. So that could be a link that you could create on this page that will show up on your banner. It'll have the little globe, and people can click on it and go straight to your website. Or if you have an ICO file, and you were mentioning it, so you probably do, it will pull that image and use that as the icon that people can click to go to your official website. And so if there's anything else where you guys are on, like Instagram might not drive traffic necessarily, but it could drive interactions. Oh, hey, John has advice for John about the intros. We don't really have an intro, so I can't speak intelligently on that subject, so I'll let John handle that. But one thing that I've read on on Hootsuite and other places is that Instagram is a good platform for behind-the-scenes pictures. So if you wanted to post the odd picture of behind the scenes while you're doing a setup or a build or something, just the odd little behind-the-scenes thing here and there, that can drive interaction and brand presence and stuff like that. And actually, this is some advice for pretty much everyone out there about social media. Go and sign up for every damn social media thing that you know about now with your channel name so that you can get your channel name locked down. Get that URL, get that thing locked down before somebody else comes along. Impersonation, that's the word I was trying to use earlier with that guy who, the Rage Spider, whose videos were being stolen. It's impersonation. That's what the report type is called. Well, you know that because you've done it. But impersonation can be a real problem on the internet. So go out and create the Twitter account, the Instagram account, whatever, even if you don't use it. Just because, and just copy that login information into a text file on your computer or something. So if you ever decide to expand in that area, or if, like I said, one day you wake up, there's nothing in the universe that prevents you from waking up tomorrow and being a sudden overnight success. All it takes is a Jimmy Kimmel or somebody mentioning you on a tweet or something, and you could blow up overnight. So be prepared for success. And one of the ways you can do that is by locking down those account names in different social media places so that you can suddenly take off on that. Because, let's say that, let's say that some late night host or something comes along and discovers your channel and they want to tweet about it, and there's no official Twitter account for them to link up. Then they might just mention you by name, but you're not going to be able to capitalize on that as much because they're not going to be able to reference you officially. So even if it's a dormant social media account, I don't think it hurts you to have it out there. Just go grab it. Take the assets you already have, the banner and the profile picture and whatever, and use those for the profile picture and banner and stuff other places. Even if it doesn't fit just right, just have a placeholder so that somebody else can't come in and pretend to be you and scam on your success. Because remember, when you become a big success, you have to remember that Ray helped, and then give me a shout out. You don't have to. It says, check out how our proof of concept is coming along. I would change that a little bit. Again, this is me getting into my personal feeling that descriptions of channels should be in the present tense, not the future tense. So I'd say something like from proof of concept to knock down, drag out robot fights. Come along for our journey. Something like that, maybe. And then possibly, I would say, add a second paragraph that might actually describe a little bit more about the process. Like, for example, I think I saw somewhere you talked about like they got 2 hours to do it. If that's like a rule of your channel, then this would be a nice place to mention it because it talks to the challenge, the specific challenge that people face while they participate and that you cover. So that might help flush it out as well. It's like, they don't have forever to build their robots. They've got a limited time, and then it's time to fight. Something like that. I think that speaks to some of the interest of your channel. But yeah, so it looks like John and I will hopefully be filming some stuff for you soon. I brought my Canon and my Priv, so I got a couple things I can film on. Broadcasting on the Proof right now. Okay, so now a channel called Free Admission. Man, I hope you're still here because I'm afraid that I'm going to get a lot of results and not know what to do, just like with CJ Play. But I could be wrong. Let's take a look. Searching Free Admission. Who doesn't want free admission? Okay, well, there's only one channel with that name coming up, so I guess I found it. FAM Free Admission Media is sort of what the icon is. On the search results page, I can read all that, but I think if that were to scale down any smaller, like where you'd encounter it anywhere else on YouTube, I don't think you'd be able to read the Free Admission Media part. Just looking at the icon, FAM sounds like short for family. Robert, this is yours? Okay, cool. I assume I found the right one. It's sort of the teal and orange. Ooh, teal and orange. Good contrast. Good contrast. If you know anything about color grading, teal and orange is like the magic combination. So you picked good colors there. So that's good. Oh, wait. It's an acronym. Free Admission Media, FAM. I get it. Now, see, there's no dots after each letter, so I didn't realize it was an acronym. Yeah, I'm not entirely certain how I feel about it. I think that the icon, not the icon, but the profile picture doesn't tell me a lot about what your channel is about. So, going over, I see 294 videos, 385 subscribers, and the description, all that shows on the search result page is Interactive Live Stream Network. So, that's interesting. I'm not entirely certain that I understand what it's about from that. If I were to try and interpret these 4 words, because it's a 4-word description, I would think that you are a competitor to Twitch or Ustream. That you've maybe got a website or an app that you're promoting that does live streaming of video, presumably, with interactive components of some kind. But I think you're really missing out on an opportunity to have a more robust description as it appears in search results. So I would say that you want to have more than those 4 words. But let's go into your channel and take a look at what we're looking at here. Wow, that's watered down. Okay. All the ice in my drink melted, so my Dr. Pepper doesn't taste like Dr. Pepper no more. Okay. Let's start with the banner. So, you got the teal background. So I like the consistency that you have there. That's pretty good. And it's looking like there's a lot of green screen effect here, which again, a teal background's good because if there's any color bleed from the green or reflection on skin, it'll look like it's coming from your teal background. So that's a really smart color choice there. The text is readable at this resolution. And the sort of the picture of the camera looks nice. I like that. And so I'm seeing a diverse group of people here, which is really good. But it's interesting, looking at the banner, I noticed that what looks like the top 10% of the banner space isn't really being used. And I don't know if that's an intentional design choice or not, but the people that appear on the banner, it's pretty zoomed out. Now, I'm not going to lie, I'm a heterosexual male. My first thing that I looked at, my eyes were drawn to the woman on the far left. So what I would suggest is scaling up at least the people on the far left such that they are zoomed in a little bit more such that they're fully in frame. Partly because it looks like the magic wand cutout tool, it looks really good almost everywhere, but except on the left side of her hair, the hair that's coming down on the far left, it looks like there's some white, both on the outside and sort of in between her hair and her shoulder, or maybe there's a logo on her. I think there's a logo on her shirt. Okay, so ignore that part. But it looks like there's a little white on the outside of her hair. So if you could go in, assuming you still have the source files on this, and just crop that line closer to get that little bit of white out, then I think it would make the whole image look better. Because that's where my eye was drawn to. Actually, it looks like there is also a gap between her neck and his arm. So again, if you can go in and cut that out and make that tiny little piece part of the transparency, those two little changes will make, I think, the whole banner look more professionally done. And then I would suggest scaling up them so that we can see them a little better, a little bigger, going all the way up to almost hitting the top of the banner, so we're not wasting that top 10%. And you might want to consider doing that with some of the other people, but if you do it with everyone, you're going to not have room for everyone. So I would say maybe just the two on the far right. So then it would almost like kind of go up to the sides. I think that might be a good look. One thing I definitely like is there's some pretty good diversity here of the people that we're seeing. So again, my first reaction coming here, I'm thinking this is a platform. It's a service, and here's an example of how diverse our users are. We got, the attractive wrestling people, all the way to the guy holding his hat, the guy with the tattoos and sort of like the country look with the hat and stuff. I'm thinking there's a lot of different kind of people here, and I like how we're seeing a lot of different personalities in their faces and their facial expression, Like the really happy guy with his arms out, and the happy people next to him. The guy's kind of looking and smirking, the cowboy hat guy looking a little tough, and the guy holding his hat looking like he's kind of, upset about something. There's a lot going on there. I think it's really good. I've already suggested what little changes I would suggest. So, let's see here. You got your channel trailer, what's serving as a channel trailer. The comedy kickback with Tron Jones. Okay. So, I'm still not really sure what your channel's about. Your host with that Do the Most, Tron Jones, lets you know about his new show. Your host with that Do the Most. Well, I mean, there's that expression, host with the most, which I'm guessing is what you were going for here. So, like, the English of the descriptions, it doesn't flow as a reader. I'm not entirely certain. And again, that looks like the entirety of the description. You're going to want to flush that out a little bit more. It's about his new show. So this is like an announcement of a show. Okay, I get it. What's the show about? What is the comedy kickback? Is it... are you kicking someone? Is it a kickback like you're giving money to someone, like a bribe? Is it like a callback, like we're gonna go back and do the joke again? What is it? What is it? In text a little bit more, because that will look like a better, more fleshed out description, and it'll help with SEO because it gives more words for the search engine to connect you to. You got some related channels, which is good. That means YouTube knows what's what, but you're not recommending any channels. So again, if you wanted to, you could go in and activate that module if there's any channels you partner with. So for example, you're talking about a show here. If that show is hosted on a separate channel, that's a great opportunity. You could put the channel link right there if you wanted to. So if you are a platform, some of your top performers on the platform and most popular personalities you could have links to there that you control. That could be a really good opportunity. Full Contact Fun Addicts, the comedy kickback. Okay, so it looks like he's kicking back and talking with people. So it's a talk show, I think. It looks like a talk show where maybe they review videos. So, it's a live talk show because it says streamed. Oh, but not all of them are streamed. I don't know. So I would say make it easier for your audience to know these things. Tales from the Pole. This is Confessions of Strippers. Is that what this is? It's a cool concept. That's kind of cool. I like the Lego strippers. That's funny. According to Woods. So it's like according to a guy named Adam Woods. Okay, I see. It's like an interview show. Yeah, okay, that's an interview show. The Royal Ramble. I like that. It's a nice pun. It's alliterative. That's good too. Bully Zone. And then uploads. Okay. And again, I keep saying this to people, but I think it's a good idea. Having popular videos as an added element to your channel is a good idea. You can put it right at the bottom if you want. It's at the bottom of my channel. But I think that's a good idea. Let's take a look at your About page. Free admission is a collection of creative talent that focuses on interactive entertainment through live stream shows and social media. So the way that reads to me is a little business speaky, a little jargony. There's been sketches done about like the guy that speaks totally in business, catchphrases and doesn't do anything. He's like, we got to think outside the box to, fuel the jet to blah blah blah, and goes from there. And so this has a bit of a feel about that. I think that if you explain it in slightly plainer language, I guess it depends on what your goal is. To me, this would be like if you're looking for investors, sponsors, people to contribute content to your platform, then this would seem to be towards that goal. If it's about trying to find viewers, I don't think it's doing a great job of that. So you could keep this, but you might want to flush it out either above or below what you already have. Talk about specific examples. We do live talk shows. We do comedy sketches. We do this. And follow the rule of three. Give 3 examples, and then have like a further thought. Is maybe a nice way of writing an additional paragraph that you could flush that out more. And again, that will give more search terms the opportunity to link you up on search. And so there's no links. So if you do have any other social media things, hey Andrew, I think I may have done your channel while you were gone. What's your channel name? Yeah, so those are just some thoughts about that. But it's it's an interesting concept, and it looks like the people that you've got, they're photogenic. That's a good advantage. Yes, Rothnium, we did do that earlier before you were here, but this live stream will be replayable. Yours was pretty early on, I think, like the second one we did. No worries. That's the curse of like unscheduled live events. But I did review your channel. Is there anyone else here that has a channel that they would like me to look at? Because I can just do a quick little recap for Rothnium. Because I don't have anyone else on the list right now. Rothinium, I think. Right. I went through this one. I liked your profile picture. I thought that the watercolor look was good. Just looking at Down Under Brothers is your channel. Okay, I will look at that in just 1 second. I'm just going to talk really quickly, because I didn't before, about Rothinium's channel trailer. So, and then we'll get to Down Under Brothers. So when they announced the new rules, I started streaming daily. Okay. I will get, after I do Down Under Brothers, I'll go in and I'll walk you through the process of adding recommended videos. That can be talking about 1 or 2 things. I'll cover both. But first, just to give Rothinium, I don't know if I'm saying that right, some value here, looking at just the channel trailer, 100 videos in one. I hope you enjoy my content. So I'm not sure what 100 videos in one means necessarily. It makes me think that you're maybe cutting down the best of 100 videos into a quick 2-minute sizzle reel or something. And if that's what it is, that's cool. Maybe just say that in the description early on so people know what the video is about. I think I said this before. It says, I hope you enjoy my content. I recommend you take that sentence out just because it's not searchable and it doesn't, I think, add much value to people trying to read a description. A description is supposed to describe the content. It's not necessarily the best place to communicate, your appreciation with your audience necessarily. Or you can just move it down. That's fine too. Looking at your image quality, it looks like you got a picture-in-picture thing here, beginning with you in front of the microphone with the blue cover on the picture, and you're looking straight into the camera. I like the image quality, the crispness, the shot, the lighting. I think that shot that you're using there is actually really good. It reminds me a little bit of Rule of Two Review, who I spoke about earlier in this live stream, a guy who was invited at Nintendo's expense to fly out to New York to try the Switch when it first launched. So, having a style similar to his is not a bad idea because he's been fairly successful. And I think I said this before. I know I said this before. Your banner art is lovely. Don't change it. I think it's fine. Even though the background doesn't say anything about what you're doing, you've got that wireframe look of the controller. I love the font, the Prometheus kind of style to it, and everything. So I would say for your icon and your banner, don't change a thing. They're both perfect, if indeed there is such a thing. So, anyways, like I said, if you go back, once this video is available for reviewing, you can get the more in-depth review I did earlier. Okay, now, Down Under Brothers. I have thoughts about what that could be. I have fears about what that could be. I'm not going to lie. Okay, fears not realized. It looks like it's a family channel about brothers. That's cool. There are two channels that come up in the results. There's Down Under Brothers, and then there's Brothers Down Under. So there's potential brand confusion there. Not a lot you can do about it, unfortunately. And I faced something similar with my channel Vacation Impossible because Spalding Gray wrote a novel called Impossible Vacation. And so if you don't put the terms in quotes, then Google might think you're looking for that novel. And the novel often comes up in that side info box, which if you get into like Google console stuff, you might be able to control that a little bit. I haven't learned about it yet, really. But that's just like with me and this novel and you and this other channel, that's just something that we're going to have to live with, I think. So given that you told me it was Down Under Brothers, I'm guessing the first one is you. So that's the one that looks like it has the younger children in it with 142 subscribers and 104 videos. So let me know if I got the right channel. And if it is basically sort of a family thing and you got the two kids and it's about the two kids in the profile picture, that seems fine. That's appropriate. What's happening in rural Australia? Down Under Brothers show you the communities of the Isaac region and Mackay region. Okay, Jasmine, glad I got it right. So you did come up first, so you got that going for you. You do have them beat out, even though they have more subscribers. You've got more videos, though, so however you want to look at that. I would drop out the words, well, if you're not covering current events, I would probably drop the words, what's happening. I would just say, in rural Australia, Down Under Brothers show you the communities of the Isaac and Mackay regions. Having the word region twice, it doesn't bolster it. Repetition does not help keyword searches on YouTube. That hasn't been true in like a long, long time. So that kind of thing, I would say, yeah, Isaac and Mackay regions. Because then you get a little bit more space because of that truncated in search results. You only get the first like 100-odd characters or whatever it turns out to be. So I'd say drop the what's happening and put the two regions together. Other than that, this looks pretty good. It's a pretty good description. I get what you're about. So let's take a look. So, looking at your banner, it's very colorful. You've got pretty decent contrast to your text. Your text is big, clear, crisp. I like that. It's gray. If it was like a darker gray or even a black, it might pop a little bit more. I'm not sure. I don't know if you want to play with that or not. That's up to you. I'm not sure I fully appreciate the significance of the background image. It looks like maybe a flag and a map. So I'm guessing that the flag is for the region, maybe the province or territory, and then the map is probably showing where you're located in Australia, I'm guessing. But the way that the banner cuts off, it's a little unclear. So I don't know if you might want to consider some kind of a redesign there. I don't know. I don't necessarily have a better idea. That's just my initial reaction for whatever it's worth. And so there's a Facebook link here. It says Contact Mama on Facebook. So I assume you're their mother. And I'm assuming this is your personal Facebook. You know what? Actually, I'm just going to follow that link. Let's do it. See what I see. Check out YouTube channel. Add friend. Okay. So yeah, this seems like your personal personal Facebook page. So one thing that I would think you may want to consider doing is creating a page for the channel. That is your Facebook. So I have a couple of thoughts about this. One is a privacy concern. If your channel were to blow up overnight, people would have this link to your personal thing. They could message you directly. They could see who your friends are. You know, they see the high school you went to, where you live, where you're from, where you work. It seems to have your employer there. And so from a privacy standpoint, you might not necessarily want it being such a direct link. Actually, and I see this one photo you have where it's like Down Under Brothers, and it's like the map with the red arrow and the picture of them in the circle. That's a great image. I like that. I think using that in other places would be a smart idea. So if you were to go and create a Facebook page for the channel specifically, that would be a great part of the banner or the profile or something else maybe, I don't know. But just like I said, there's nothing preventing you becoming an overnight success. The internet is kind of forever, and it's 24 hours year round. So what if your channel turns out to be really funny in, like, I don't know, Japanese or something? And so one night you're asleep and you become an overnight hit in Japan, and you get 1 million followers, and they're all messaging you wanting to tell you how awesome they are, and it's blowing up your personal page. And you're getting tons of personal requests and all this kind of stuff. That can happen quickly. And so you might want to insulate yourself by creating a page for the channel specifically that people could go and click like. Because that's the other thing, is like here they could come in, they can add you as a friend, whereas a page that they can click like. You can follow either, and that's fine. But it's a different degree of association, because by friending someone, you know, the privacy settings are different. They can see more of what you post. If you set your privacy to a post friends only, the people that you accept as friends are good. After a certain point, you're limited at the number of friends you can have on Facebook, and there's other things around that. So it's a bit of work to create and make a Facebook page. But so it's up to you if you want to invest that time or not. But it's just a suggestion. I have it for my small thing. I've got like 140 maybe followers on Facebook, if that. I thought the channel was too small for that. It's possible. I don't think there's anything wrong with being ambitious and you know, planning for a successful future potentially. Like I said, going out and get those URLs and accounts and sign up for all that social media stuff, even if you don't use it, so you can lock in that name. Especially because there's another channel with a very similar name. Going out there and just like sign up for the account, put it in a text file, the URL, your login and your password. Maybe not the password or something. And then, hey, John, we got you through your washing. Fantastic. And then just save that somewhere and just sit on it, even if you never use it and you just have a picture. Because, like, let's say that the top late-night talk show in Australia decides to highlight you. I don't know who that would be. You know, if they have a Twitter account, if they want to tweet about you, they can do the @ and then you'll appear. That's better than them looking for you and not finding you. So yeah, lock it down. So that's just some thoughts there. So I'll just close the Facebook thing and go back to your channel. Okay, so couple of things. The channel itself on your homepage is a little sparse. You just have one row, from what I'm seeing, assuming it loaded properly, one row which is created playlists. And that's okay. I would suggest creating at least 2 more, and I've said this a few times, so I apologize for repeating myself, but with other channels, is an uploads one, so that all of your newest videos will appear at the very top and easy to find without having to like wade into a playlist. And also another list of your popular videos, so that people can see the things that are really, you know, really popular, and then you can, you know, let that snowball effect happen. Additionally, there's no channel trailer that's popping up. So, again, a channel trailer you can make yourself relatively easily, depending on your software. Shoot for about 60 seconds or less of a sizzle reel, which is the best of the best, the funniest, cutest, smartest moments you've ever done in the lifespan of your channel. What I would say is sit down and don't even have your videos or anything, and just think back about what are the parts of the channel, the moments that you've loved the most, that you would want to go back and look at again, that you're the most proud of, or that got the most comments or whatever, from your recollection. Don't use data. Have it just be used as an artistic process. Think about, just a few of them. 5 or 6 is all it takes. Go find those videos, cut those little snippets out, put it together, post it. That's all it can be. You can do it any way you like. You could do a nice voiceover recording talking about what your channel's all about or something. You can put it to music. You can do different things, whatever works for you. But a nice little sizzle reel so that somebody can come. It'll autoplay, which that'll get you more views. And it can feel a little scummy sometimes. Believe me, I get that. But if it's short and it's not like crazy obnoxious, it can give people a real instant. It's like the sampler platter of your channel. So make the appetizer sampler platter where people can see a little bit of everything, whet their appetite, and then have some videos, not just playlists, that they could click into right after that on your channel homepage, so that then they can dive in, and that way the entry into your channel content is, I think, a little smoother and easier for your audience. You got featured channels, related channels, that's good. And again, related channels, when you have that, it says related, that's a good sign. YouTube kind of knows what you're about. They think they know what you're about, and they think they found channels that are similar, so that's good. It's when that says popular channels, that's when YouTube doesn't know you so well, and you're going to want to maybe put out more videos, bump up your descriptions, maybe go... not in a spammy way, but maybe go and comment on similar channels so that those associations and links, YouTube can start to understand what your channel is about from a machine learning standpoint. So that's the home page. Let's take a look at the About page. Description. What's happening in rural Australia? Down Under Brothers show you the communities of the Isaac region and Mackay region located in QLD. QLD is obviously an acronym, a shortening of. So putting the long version of QLD could help you with search engine optimization. I would say do both. Put the long form and then parenthetically afterwards put QLD. That might help with search. Dean and Heath are the Down Under brothers, and they live in the township of Dysart. I'm probably saying that wrong. So you'll see a few videos set there. I would drop out the phrase, so you'll see a few videos set there. I think it's implied, and none of those terms are things people are searching. If somebody goes on YouTube and types the search term video, A, I can't imagine someone doing it, and B, I can't imagine it being very useful for folk. We'll be sharing our journey through life on what it's like living in a rural Australia town. I like that phrase, that's good. We'll bring you along with us as we run the Queen's Baton Relay, March 2018. I would take... I don't know. I would consider taking the date out just so that it becomes a little future-proof in case you forget to update this come June, for example. But at the same time, sometimes people do search dates, so you might want to leave it in. It's up to you. Let's see. For the Commonwealth Games, take you to town events, visit surrounding communities, and even skip over to Mackay for special episodes. I would drop out for special episodes. I don't think those are searchable terms, and I think that it's implied. So that could tighten up the language just a little bit, and especially if I want you, if you decide to follow any of this advice, of course it's up to you. Tightening it up there, but then expanding it in other areas could just help it tweak it just maybe enough for searching a little bit better. Yeah, okay, that's good. You can expect new content weekly, but which day will they be released? That's a surprise. Yeah, that's okay. It's kind of nice. I like the way it's phrased. It's accessible. It's casual. I like that. Subscribe to easily track down the boys and click the bell button next to subscribe if you want to be some of the first to view the latest episodes when they're released. Yeah, that is all fine. I did have a thought. I assume your last name is actually Pierce. And so you do have the boys' first names there, Dean and Heath, so someone can reason out that their full name is Dean Pierce and Heath Pierce. If they became an overnight sensation, that means their full real names are easily accessible. I don't want to sound paranoid or anything, but from a privacy standpoint, from concerns about online bullying or whatever, that's just one of those reasons I would consider not linking directly to your personal account. Because that way you can drop the last name. They could just be known as Dean and Heath, and that's fine, that's casual, they can associate with it. But it doesn't necessarily put their full information out there. And again, internet stuff is sort of forever. So like when they're adults and they're searching, they're applying for jobs, people are Googling them, this may or may not be a good thing to come up, but like you can control it. Because that way, if you want them to know about something like this, like their experience with public speaking or something, you could put that on the resume and not make them search for it, and so you control that access. So, might be a little paranoia on my part. Choose to ignore me if you think it is, and that's totally fair. But I think that's just one way that you could kind of protect them and perhaps yourselves from just those sorts of internet concerns. Hey, Mercedes, welcome back. Yeah, I've been at it for a little bit now. I'm back. It's starting to hurt. I suffer for you guys. And yeah, so the links, you got the Facebook there. If you're anywhere else, and again, yeah, you could go lock down those social media things. I'm going to say it again. You can do a set it and forget it for Twitter. Sign up for Twitter in the name of your channel. Go to YouTube, and the next time you upload a video, you can tie your Twitter into it. I forget exactly how. But then you check that box. It says share on Twitter. One time, it'll auto default to being checked going forward, I think. Or maybe there's a setting. And then every time you upload a video, it'll tweet about it. So set it and forget it. You get a link, you get followers. You don't even have to necessarily put time in it after that initial setup. So that's an easy, minimal thing that you can do. So that is, I think, about all that I have to say about this, about the Down Under Brothers. I think that's yeah, I think it's good. I think that channel in the space that it operates in could be a real success. Having not watched the videos, admittedly, but you know, they look like a couple of really photogenic kids, and it looks like you're doing a lot of things right there. So I'm going to step out from the channel review for a moment, and I'm going to go through the process of. John was asking about recommended videos, and so I think I know what he's talking about. Let me go to my channel. So Josu asks, is it true that uploading daily makes your channel grow, or does it really matter? Yes and no. Mostly yes. It's been said by me that the first week on YouTube is like the only week on YouTube. When a video is within its first 7 days, it gets that little tag, flag, note, whatever you want to call it, that says new. And so for that first week, YouTube, it's been explained that the algorithm is trying to figure out what it has. Jasmine, I'm glad that was helpful for you. I wish you guys all the success. I hope it helps. In that first week, that new flag puts you higher up in search results and recommended videos because YouTube doesn't know what it has yet. And it doesn't want to risk not capitalizing on what could be the next big thing. That was probably Josue. Yeah, I thank you for accepting my apology. I suck. Let's call it a Canadian accent. Can I use that? Will that get me off the hook? And so what I suggest is, as much as your schedule makes possible, and most of us have day jobs and lives, and children and other things that keep us busy, hobbies, etc. You know, YouTube shouldn't be the end all and be all of your existence. So keeping that in mind, if you can get a new video out every week, that's, I think, reasonable. I think every day is a hard thing to do depending on your content. I'm a travel channel, and the amount of editing and travel I would have to do to create daily content year-round would be pretty crazy. I try to follow some rules with my channel that hopefully makes it unique. And so I only film on location. That's why this is only the second day that I've ever done these channel reviews, is I'm doing it in a location that's not my home. So the first time I did it in LA. Today I'm in Victoria. Big Red Vlogs, I'm putting you on the list. You'll be the next channel review after I talk about recommended videos. So anyways, we're just talking about should you upload daily. And so when they announced the changes to the monetization policy, and I had over a year of backlog videos I needed to edit, and watch time was so important, I decided I'm going to put out a video every day for the month that we had until the monetization rules came into effect. And I did that, and it was draining and it was exhausting. I wasn't editing the videos to the degree I normally would, partly because that would maybe result in more watch time by having less edited content. But I think that had I taken my time, the videos would have been a higher quality. So it's a mixed bag, and it's a balancing act. My channel did grow pretty well, not as much as I had hoped. I had hit the watch time goal, for example, pretty quickly when I did it daily, but I just don't think daily is reasonable. I just don't, especially if it's something you put out there as a commitment. If you say to yourself, I'm going to put out a video every day, and you happen to do that, that's one thing. If your banner says new videos daily and you commit to that all over your channel, it is a commitment. You could generate a bunch of videos that you could have ready to go, so you have a backlog in case you get sick. It's just life gets in the way sometimes. And I don't like the idea of YouTube becoming a big pressure on people. And if it's a pressure, even if it's a pressure you're putting on yourself, it's like, I gotta do it daily, gotta do it daily, gotta do it daily. I think that would drain your artistic reservoir. I think that it would be exhausting, and so I would caution against it. But it depends on the channel. You're absolutely right, Andrew. If you're doing reactions to today's news, if you're a Philly D, that makes perfect sense. Daily is part of what you do, and you can probably do it. You talk into the camera about the day, you edit the video, and you post it. It doesn't have to be super complicated. It's not going to likely involve huge special effects and all this other kind of stuff. Wow, getting lots of likes and loves. Thanks, guys. And yeah, it can be a question of sacrifice. And so I think that I don't have a release schedule. My channel may have suffered for it, but I think I've benefited from it by it not overwhelming my life. And so, I think, going for weekly, try weekly. If you don't have a consistent schedule on something, maybe try weekly. If you can do more than weekly, that's fine, but don't commit to more than weekly and see how that goes. And if that's easier, then slowly ramp up from there. I think it's easier to ramp up on the commitment rather than going high and then feeling guilt and pressure if you're not making the super high sudden metric. Thev Bunch, you're going on the list. Getting a bit of a backlog here. So, yeah, I can probably do this for, I don't know, maybe another hour and a half if I don't get, tired. Anyways, we wanted to talk about recommended videos and how to do that. I think what you're talking about is your channel layout on the main page. So if you go to your when you're logged in to YouTube and you go to your channel on the Home tab, let me see here. Click Customize Channel. Let's see what comes up. I haven't tidied up my channel in a while, and I need to do that. For example, my top season that's listed here is season 23, and I've completed several seasons since then. As a travel channel, we consider every trip we take to be a season. So I've clicked Edit. It's thinking. So, if you're talking, the request was recommended videos, but I was just going to talk about the channels. Maybe that was what was meant, I'm not sure. So once you've clicked Customize Channel on your home page, and you can move your mouse over on the right to, I think they'll already be there, or there'll be like something you can click to create them. But I've already created them, so they're there. If I put my mouse over my awesome channels, the pencil icon shows up in the top right corner, so I could edit that. So for right now, I have, for example, Natalie, who's a performer on Carnival Cruise Ships that I really enjoy, the Mario Marathon, who I support and participate in, and my friend Warren DeFlandes, who's a fantastic vocalist doing R&B and gospel. And so I could click Edit and change those channels up. And then there's related channels. That's a binary thing. It's either enabled or disabled. Don't disable it, you'll upset YouTube. I recommend, your recommended videos will do better, I think, from my personal experience, when you let that module be active. And then you'll see in the main area there's returning subscribers and new subscribers. You can click on either. New subscribers is where you'd get to channel trailer issue. And so if you want to select something as a channel trailer and stuff, you'd go there. And then the rest of the channel is under returning. So if you scroll to the bottom, in fact, we could do this in real time. Let's update my channel. Just a little bit. I'm not going to waste too much of your time on this. You scroll down to the very bottom, that's where you get Add a Section. A little plus inside of a gray circle. You click on Add a Section, and then it'll give you some options. Popular channels on YouTube, yeah. So the popular channels thing evolves and changes over time. So first, enable it, because otherwise you're pissing off YouTube and they're not going to favor you in recommendations. And two, initially, early on, it'll display as popular channels. And then, or it might already say related channels. They both happen in the same box and they're sort of the same functionality and everything. It's just that if YouTube doesn't understand your channel from a machine learning standpoint, it's just going to put popular channels, and it'll be some of the most popular channels. It'll be like, PewDiePie and like BuzzFeed and stuff will appear there. But once it gets to know you and see who comments on you, what you comment on, what kind of videos you have, what recommended videos work well, and all these relationships starts getting established, then it'll switch to related channels on its own. It's not something you control. And then it will recommend things that they think are similar to yours. So, for example, my travel channel, Vacation Impossible, it currently has Cruise Tips TV, which makes sense. We cruise a lot. Don's Family Vacations, sounds right, Vacation Channel, and PewDiePie for reasons I don't understand. I don't know why YouTube thinks I'm like PewDiePie. I'm not going to go down that road, but I disagree. Respectfully. So I'm trying to add a section here, but I'm thinking maybe I have too many sections, that I would have to remove something to do this, I'm guessing. So let's go to Season 21. Yeah, I'm not going to do this now. I'm not going to waste your time on this, but I need to go in and tidy up my channel and curate it a little bit more. It's good to do this every now and then, not that often, like, once a year is probably plenty, unless your channel is undergoing drastic redesigns. But anyways, that gives you, I hope that answers the question. The question was about recommended videos, though. If you're talking about the recommended videos that appear on the right-hand column when you're watching a video, that's YouTube's algorithm and machine learning tools. They do that. You can't really control that. It's based on so many factors. Who subscribes to what? Do they watch similar content? Are the keywords similar? The titles similar? The description similar? When people click on the recommended video from your video, how long do they watch? The things they're subscribed to. The recommended videos will be different for everyone as well. The only consistency is if you go into an incognito copy of like Chrome or something. So that's where you have another, you open up your browser in a way that you don't share any personal information. No cookies, no browser history, location, whatever. Maybe location, I don't know, they can get that from your IP. But it's basically like a clean copy, because YouTube's always learning about you. Even if you're not logged in, they know what you're watching. They know what you're interested in, what you're clicking on. But so if you were to search your own channel, or one of your search terms, your channel would come up really high, and you'd think, I'm owning this area. Why am I not getting more views? That's because it's tailored for you. And since you own your channel, they're thinking, maybe he's looking for one of his videos. We'll pop that up there. So go incognito, do the search again. It'll look completely different. But that's what sort of is a kind of generic look. But even still, that's not going to be the common experience. Everyone's experience is going to be customized because of that algorithm. It drives me nuts. Sometimes it's good, though, because it often recommends things that I am legitimately interested in. But that's a little bit about how that works. And so if somebody posts in our group, for example, and says, oh, hey, I'm the #1 result when I search this, I always come back with, did you do an incognito search? Because I hate to break it to you. I mean, I went on that roller coaster. I thought I was owning all these search terms. I was like, oh, wait a minute. Check incognito. Crap. No, I wasn't. I was like the 20th result, not the first. Still pretty good, though. So anyways, that was a bit of a tangent. I'm hoping that answered whatever the question was about recommended videos, though. It's important. You can get so much watch time from recommended videos, but that is completely under control of YouTube, the algorithm, and the machine learning tools. So you just got to try and keep YouTube happy to make that work. And you can look at the keywords that other channels and similar videos are using and maybe use that to inform your choices. And it might increase the likelihood your videos will be recommended, but there's only a limited amount of sort of gaming of that system you can do. All right, next up, Big Red Vlogs. Let's take a look. Man, when we're done this, I'm not going to want to talk at all. I'm going to be at John's party, and I'm just going to be sitting there quietly in my Star Trek Discovery t-shirt. Search is being slow. Once again, when you guys are all successful, remember me. Shout out. You don't have to. That's just what I tell myself so I can, keep doing this. Because, I could be, do it for fun, absolutely. I could be captioning my videos right now. I don't want to caption my videos right now, but if I really wanted to invest the time in my channel, that's probably what I should be doing right now. But I'd rather help you guys. It's more fun. Also, I'm not sure that I want to caption on this keyboard. The Surface keyboard's really good, but captioning can be a slog, especially for longer videos. I do not know why my search results are... Oh, I start talking trash and it starts to work. Here's a trick. You got a computer that's acting up? I know how to talk to these people. I'm going to install iTunes on you. Hey, there's the results. You just got to threaten it with the right thing. Okay, Big Red Vlogs. We're getting a few results here, but only one that says Big Red Vlogs. It's a picture of someone, a female in a red cape. So I'm thinking that's it. You need to caption your videos because I talk too fast. Yeah, me too. I have that exact problem. So many words. Okay, so you're in a red cape. It ties in with the word red. It evokes for me Red Riding Hood, but you're not holding a basket, so I'm not sure whether that evocation is intentional or not. I noticed that it's all lowercase. I'm not sure if that's a style choice or not. Generally speaking, this is just from my perspective. When I see something like that, I think it was done quickly. Proper capitalization tells me that somebody maybe spent more time on it. It takes a bit more of effort, might be a bit more professional. So my recommendation, take it with a grain of salt, feel free to completely ignore me, would be to capitalize each word there. Let's check out the description. Hi, my name is Leanne, and sometimes having Asperger's can be really fun. Join me as I show you my life. Okay, that's cool. Yeah, well, it's interesting. I've seen a lot of channels since I've been kind of exploring the YouTube community of people with Asperger's or autism or other things, and some of the stuff they create is really fantastic. So I really also like the perspective of, like, it can be really fun. I don't have those particular concerns, but I do have mild dyslexia. And so sometimes it's really frustrating. I'll invert my letters and my numbers. I'll have to go slow if it's an acronym. If I'm doing anything with numbers, I have to double and triple check my work. Now that reduces errors, so ironically I make fewer errors than other people sometimes. But part of it is sometimes it's a superpower. Because if it's like, if I'm doing the jumble, I'm there. Like, the numbers move for me. The letters move for me. I don't have to do it. My dyslexia, boom! For Star Trek geeks, there was a Deep Space Nine episode called Trials and Tribulations, where they did a time travel story. They went back to the original series for the Tribbles episode. And because of the time travel element, the Department of Temporal Investigation sends 2 investigators to go talk to Cisco, the captain of the show, the leader, about what he had done and what had happened, and sort of interrogate him and get a report. Dulmer and Luskley were the names. And so you watch the show, and they don't really mention the names much. And so you're like, okay, that was cool. And eventually the novelization of that came out, and I picked it up because I love Star Trek, and I get my hands on, like, every Star Trek thing I can, basically. That's not like a collectible. I love the novels. I'll read all the novels. And so I'm reading the novelization, and in the first page they mention the 2 of them. Dulmer and Luskley, were waiting outside Cisco's office. My dyslexia kicks in, and that's not how I see it. I see it as Mulder and Scully. And then I realize they're anagrams. They rearranged the letters. It's an homage to the X-Files. And I caught it right away. I don't know how apparent it is for other people, but in that moment I felt like a damn superhero. So I really like the perspective you're taking on that, because absolutely, these things just make things different. And when things are different, there's good and bad that goes with it. And so that's fantastic. Okay, not the best at English typing? Not a problem. Let me help you. It's relatively easy for me to help you, so here's an easy win for me. So again, capitalize B, R, and V in Big Red Vlogs. I think it'll look a bit better. Your description, I would drop the beginning where you say hi, just because conversationally, again, in a video or podcast, that's very good. In a written description, I don't think it adds value. I don't think people are searching that word, so I would just drop off the part where you say hi. You also capitalize name, which you probably wouldn't want to do. You normally capitalize the first letter of a sentence and proper names. So I wouldn't capitalize the word name. Have I not been smiling much today? I'm a happy person. Things are good. I think I frown when I'm thinking and looking and focusing, so I need to smile more. Okay. I think, honestly, I would just start with the word sometimes. Just say, sometimes having Asperger's can be really fun. Join me as I show you my life. I think that's all you need to say. I mean, you might want to talk a little bit more about your content beyond that, what kind of things you do. But honestly, I think that right there encapsulates it really well. You don't necessarily need to introduce yourself with the name and stuff. Give people a reason to click on it. And I don't know that anyone's name necessarily would fulfill that. But I think sometimes having Asperger's can be really fun. Join me as I show you my life. That part of your description appealed to me. I think it would appeal to a wide audience. And again, just the as I show you my life, that I should be capitalized. So let's go and look at the channel. 331 videos, 63 subscribers. My tablet is still being slow for some reason, so bear with me. You know, it's funny, I was talking about like feeling like a superhero because of dyslexia. You're wearing a cape. That's cool. I like it. And you know, red, there's a reason why power colors are white, black, and red. There's a reason why YouTube uses red on the subscribe button and all over the place. The color red catches your eye. In you know, when I'm watching television, depending on how the television's been calibrated, sometimes the color red, a lot of the times, even if it's proper, it really jumps out at you. So I think using that color is a good choice. So you've got a channel trailer, highlights of my life. Again, I think for the titles of videos, going with capitalizing each word is not a bad idea. Just testing out editing videos is the description. I would probably drop that description and talk a little bit more about what kind of video clips they're going to see in there. It's like, hey, here's a bunch of clips from my daily vlog where I talk about how having Asperger's can be a superhero. It can be a superpower sometimes. Something like that. That's more searchable, and it tells people a bit more about what they're going to be looking at. I see you've got a related channel, so that's good. YouTube knows you. Hey, Nancy. And that's a good sign. You've got popular uploads. That's pretty good. Just checking it out here. So, creating custom thumbnails. I'm not sure if you did or not, if these are custom or not, but custom thumbnails are good for a couple of reasons. One of which, oh, it's a cool nickname. One of which is, it's one of those signals to YouTube and its algorithm and machine learning that says you're putting in the effort, you're trying. And so one of the things that I did once I realized this a few years ago, 2 or 3 years ago, hey Sam, is I went back and put a custom thumbnail on every one of my videos. And I had well over 100 at that point. No problem, Nancy. Glad to help. This is fun for me. I'm enjoying this. I'm glad that we're all having a chance to do this. So even if it's just screenshotting a still from your video, even if it's the same image that YouTube's already got there, the fact that you went to the trouble of creating the JPEG or PNG file and uploading it tells YouTube this person is trying. This person's a little bit more professional than maybe they previously thought. They're making an effort. Maybe we need to show them a little higher in search results. Maybe we need to have their videos recommended a little bit more. So even if you're just screenshot what's there and re-upload it, that's something. But you can do more than that in some easy incremental levels of effort. So, okay, maybe you won't take the one of the 3 that they give you to choose from. You're like, there's a better shot I can use. So I'm going to pause the video at the right moment, screenshot that thing, open up Photoshop, paste it there. Then maybe, like I recommended earlier, you might increase these... excuse me, tacos are coming back. You might increase the saturation of the contrast, or maybe both. Make sure that it doesn't change the colors, but if it brightens the colors, then when it shrinks down and compresses into a thumbnail, it'll look a little bit better. Make templates and put a screenshot behind. Yeah, that works. There's a lot of different ways you can do it. A little bit of effort here could pay off big, I think. That's one of those like force magnifiers where you put in a little bit of effort initially, but then the outcome could be quite substantial. So, so then, if you maybe just increase the saturation and or the contrast a little bit, and it starts to look a little bit better, and then you're like, maybe I'll put a little bit of text on there. For example, the second video in your popular uploads is the Try Not to Sing Challenge Disney Edition. And so it looks like it was filmed somewhat in portrait, and so you've got the black bars on either side, right? Well, if you take a screenshot of that and then move it all the way to one side, you kind of combine those black bars into one space, and that gives you some space to play with. And then you could write, Try Not to Laugh Challenge. in that white text on that black background. It looks like a more professional thumbnail then. People look at it, and even from just the picture, because some people are super visual, like picture-wise, rather than the small text that comes up. If you can get that in some decent-sized text that's really clear and pop, they're going to know instantly, hey, that's what that is. I want to watch that. Or you could put just Disney Edition. And people are like, what is that? Disney's huge. There are people that are such huge fans of Disney. I've got personal friends that will watch or do anything Disney. So maybe it's even intentionally not complete. And you just say Disney Edition. They're like, Disney Edition what? Then they're going to read the title, the Try Not to Sing Challenge. Oh, and so you're slowly drawing them in a series of small steps. Click on it and go. Yeah, and fair enough. In my old videos, oh my god, like I filmed an entire season pretty much straight up my nose because I didn't know what I was doing. That's our first season, our first road trip. And so, yeah, we all learn and things evolve. But what I'm suggesting, at least in this thumbnail, is, yeah, okay, filming in portrait was kind of a disadvantage. Let's turn that disadvantage into an advantage on the thumbnail because you've got that extra space on either side. Consolidate it, put some text on it, might help. Might help get a bit more views. Sam asks, what are your thoughts on clickbait? Oh boy. That's a big topic. I think the world at large, and the YouTube community in particular, doesn't have a good definition, agreed upon definition of clickbait. I have a definition of clickbait, and a lot of people out there don't agree with me. So I'm going to say that up front. There's a strong chance you're going to disagree with me here. And it's been a heated discussion in the group before. I think clickbait, let's break the word down. Click and bait. So click, you're trying to get people to click. I think we can all agree on that. The bait part is the question. Now, when I think of bait, I think of like fishing. You put a worm on a hook, you throw it into the water, and you try to catch yourself a fish. From the fish's experience, they see a tasty meal that becomes bloody death. So, to me, bait is lying. Maybe not there's degrees of gradation. You know, are you just lying a little bit, or are you lying a lot? Or maybe just not telling the whole story. And so that's hard, because it's a continuum. And so where's your cutoff line where it becomes clickbait, and is clickbait wrong? Because if you think like clickbait's over here and wrong is over here, and there's this area that's okay to play in, fair enough. But for me, the two are the same, because if it's not lying, it's not clickbait. People use the expression clickbait to be anything that's like, oh, it's a compelling title. And I'm like, no, there are words for that. Compelling title. You don't have to call it clickbait. Clickbait is a different thing. Does TubeBuddy really increase views? Just asking. I don't know. I'm as you probably heard from some of the advice I was giving to a previous person, I am concerned about privacy, and so I'm concerned with the level of access that TubeBuddy and vidIQ demand of you would want to use their service. So I haven't tried it. I downloaded it, I installed the Chrome extension, but then when it wanted to do its thing, it needed such a high level of access to my channel, I wasn't comfortable granting it, so I can't tell you that. I think a lot of people have tried it, I think they found some success. When it comes to TubeBuddy, I have two feelings. One is that if you're doing what everyone else is doing, if you're using the same tools and methods, are you really unique? And if you're just chasing what everyone else is doing, can you ever hope to be more than just a bad copy? Not to put that in too harsh terms, but that's sometimes what I think about in terms of myself. I don't want to do that. But at the same time, I'm a data guy. I'm a data junkie. Analytics, diving in, learning new things. This is what I'm all about. And so, as I understand it, TubeBuddy gives you additional analytics. So it's a question of how you use it, I think, to a degree, too. Do you use it to... Here's where I think it would go wrong. And this comes into like things like AdWords as well, or trending. If you are going based on what a program is telling you is popular, Gordon kicks for the win. You see, that's the thing, and it turns out to be a robot. I don't think that's clickbait. I think that's on the good side of clickbait. I think that's fine. I don't think it's clickbait. You could put robots right after that. Groin kicks for the win, robots. And then suddenly it's not even a lie at all. It's not even that they didn't tell you the whole story. The whole story's there. I think that's fine, personally, for your kind of content there, John. I would have no objections to that one. Unless you showed a picture of a man kicking another man in the groin as your thumbnail, then the thumbnail's clickbait because you're using robots. But that title? Nah, I think you're good. So, if you're using AdWords or trending to decide what your next video should be about, I think you've crossed an artistic line where you're thinking about chasing the views, not making... You're doing it for the views, not because you're passionate about it, you have a message, there's a thing you want to do, these sorts of things. And then all you could ever hope to be is the second person to the party at best, because it's already trending. You're not going to be the trendsetter. You're not going to be at the forefront or the leading edge of anything. You could be very close, and you could be in that early pack and close to that early torrent if you're really, really fast. But that's my concern about, hey, like when people join the group and new people join the group and they're like, hey, how do I be successful at YouTube? And we're like, what do you mean? And they're like, what should I make? And we're like, what? Like, we can help you with the things I'm talking about today. But if you don't know what you want to make, then you don't want to make anything. You're not ready. And it's not like you're not smart enough or experienced enough. It's like, it's like I want to be famous because I want to be famous. If you want to be famous to get a message out, to help people, to whatever, to better your circumstance. There's a guy in our group. He just recently got a second job, so he hasn't been doing YouTube much, which sucks, but I love this kid. What's his name? Let me just quickly look it up, because I want to give him a shout-out here. He's not here right now, I know, because he's working that second job. Brett Wesker. This guy wants to buy a Tesla. This is I love this guy's channel. He hasn't posted in a while, but basically he put a deposit down for a Tesla at the beginning of the year, but he doesn't have the money for it. So he's trying to save up and earn the money as rapidly as he can. So his reason for being there is to take people on that journey, and I think that's fantastic. And I don't think somebody like that, who's one of the few people I found in our group that I subscribe to. And I think part of it is, like, he's funny, he's sincere, he's kind of professional. I think he works at, like, American Idol or something, so he's somewhat in the industry. But he wants, like, you know, maybe he wants make people laugh, maybe he wants advice, maybe he wants to be successful, make money for himself, whatever. But that's a unique thing that he wants to do. It's not, I want to be rich, how do I get rich? I don't think that'll ever work. I don't think it won't resonate with an audience. The best you could ever hope for is to be a copy of somebody else and kind of scam off their success. So that's why sometimes I might appear to be trolling them a little bit, because I kind of want to challenge why they're in there. And I'm hoping that there's something more to it than that. I want to get to the because. If it's like, I want to be famous. Why? Because I want to make a lot of money. Why? Because I want to feed my family. I'm like, oh, okay, well then let's deal with that problem. That might be more fixable. Hey, get like a job. Let's help you find that, and then, you know, and maybe make your videos about that. Maybe that's what you're passionate about. Something like that. And hey, if you just want to be famous, make your videos about wanting to be famous. But if you're trying to shield it under something else, it's disingenuous, it's insincere, and it's kind of not cool. And like, a lot of people want to make people laugh, and that's great. And throw that somewhere in your channel description. Put it at the very bottom if you want. Just say, hey, at the end of the day, we just want to make people laugh. I think that's great. It speaks to the why. People identify emotionally with the why. So that's that. And yeah, so I talked about the clickbait thing a little bit, but just to flesh that out a bit more, you know, to me, clickbait is lying and a bad idea. And frankly, against YouTube's terms of service, because having misleading titles, description, tags, and thumbnails can cost you your channel. It's in their terms and conditions. You can look it up yourself. And so... and that, to me, is where the clickbait line lies. And so people who say, oh, it's got to be clickbait, because I define clickbait as good marketing or effective stuff or bright thumbnails or having text or doing this or doing that kind of thing that draws people in. But clickbait isn't lying. If clickbait isn't lying, it's not bait. That's my personal feeling. If you're not comfortable with the analogy of it being a worm on a hook, then think about in, like, action movies when you have, like, bait or something. So you put a guy out in the open and hope the bad guys come to kidnap, talk to, convince, steal, murder, kill this person. Like, but what you hope to do is before they get the bait, you pull the bait away and then you capture the person, right? And that is under false pretenses. The person is out there saying, "Oh, I'm coming back to you, bad guy. I'm here to tell you information. I'm trying to do all these things," and those are all lies. They are not there to rejoin the gang. They are not there to give them insight about what the cops are doing. They are there as bait. Bait has a purpose, and the purpose of bait, in my view, and I feel strongly about this, is to lie. So it depends. How do you define clickbait? And if you define it the way I do, I think you probably would. Most people would largely agree with my feelings about clickbait. The problem is the definition of it has become so wishy-washy out there that some people think that any brightly colored thumbnail is clickbait, even if it's completely accurate. And with that, I disagree with it. I think words and the definition of words matter. Hey, Raymond South, thank you so much for that feedback. That's really nice to hear. I think we've got something really special with this group, and yeah, it really makes it worthwhile. And sure, I've gotten some views and subscribers, and I've learned a lot from the group. But it's really the learning a lot and being part of this community and knowing some of these people, seeing some of these familiar faces, John and other people. That's really fantastic. Nancy Locks, right? I think you mentioned that earlier. Sorry, I didn't catch it earlier. I'm going to throw you on the list right now. Probably got maybe another hour on this. So hopefully I can get to people's various things. Thanks, Sam. We love the group too. Just getting back to Big Red Vlogs. I think I talked about the channel layout and descriptions and things well. Talked about thumbnails. Oh, you know what? I didn't talk about the banner. Let's see here. A day without laughter is a day wasted. Karma. Recycled. Or recycle karma. I like that. It looks like a Banksy or something. I don't know. But, no, it's pretty cool. Yeah, I don't have much thought there. Again, I don't see any social links. So if you do have any social media stuff that you are comfortable linking with your channel, then do so. Yeah, Leanne, I think your channel is okay, certainly. I very rarely run into a channel that I don't think is okay. The channels that are not okay are the ones that steal content, promote hate, do things like that. But you're out there, you're creating something, trying to make people laugh and share your experience, and so there's no wrong way to do that, as far as I'm concerned, really. Your intentions are good. And so I think your channel could be a little bit better, and so I'm trying to provide some thoughts about that. Hampton Court Place. John, what's your channel name? I'll add you to the list. That's John Gladius I'm talking to there. We got a lot of Johns kicking around. It's a popular name. But yeah, no, I think it's a good channel, but I do think it can be better. But I think that's true of everyone's, including and probably especially mine. So looking at your description, it seems that your entire description was captured in the search results, so I spoke about that. So my only thought is maybe adding a second paragraph talking about specifically what kind of videos you do. For example, you could follow the rule of three, give 3 examples of videos you've made, so people just get a sense of what it is, and there's more search terms. So you could say like, oh, I do react videos, challenges, and I show you my adventures out in the real world. That could be a nice second paragraph that just makes it a bit more searchable, tells people a little bit more what you're about. I promote family-friendly violence. Yes, you do. You know what? I do have a little bit of an acting background, and so what one thing that I'm somewhat trained in is something called stage combat. It's the ability to make it look like you're punching someone else while you're not, but doing it completely safely. I want to try and incorporate that on my channel. One thing that I've been struggling with is the asking for subscribers. Oh, I don't like it. I don't want to do it, but I've been trying it recently with my podcast clips, and it works. It's really been working. It's been asking people for likes and subscribes. It bloody works. I wish it didn't. I wish people did it without the prompting, so that I don't feel like a beggar or whatever you want to call it. But that having been said, and that having been tested and realized, I think that hopefully there are funny and respectful ways I can do it. And I've gotten some good feedback on some of the approaches I take. For example, I recorded a podcast at LAX after I did the live stream. And one of the things I said something was like, oh, I don't want to be one of those guys that asks you to like and subscribe. You're smart, attractive people. You know what to do. And so I actually got some feedback. Some people thought that was the best part of the video. So I think that, I think there might be fun, respectful ways. I actually have an idea. And hey, John of JohnCon, if you're watching, I have this idea about what I'm calling the Ray in Peril series, where I'm going to find myself in situations... getting all parched. Anyways, where I find myself in situations where I'm in trouble. I'm hanging from a tree upside down. Some rough, tough, strong people look like they're going to beat me up or something. And then I turn to the camera and I'm like, I don't have time to explain why this is happening, but please subscribe to get me out of here. I think that might be a little funny. So maybe we might have a chance this weekend to film a couple things like that we could do. That might be a little successful. Oh, my YouTube is doing things on its own. It really shouldn't do that. Yeah, no, I'm agreeing with most of the comments there. The one thing that I'm taking some solace in is I do put my request for subscribe and like and comment at the end of the video. Or if I specifically want to comment about a specific thing, I can ask mid-video because I'm like, hey, I just said this thing. What do you think about it? Please let me know. Am I wrong? Whatever. Yeah, 69% of your content came from not subscribed. Mine's like 95%. I get views, no problem. Subscribers, I would have to like buy them or something. I don't. I'm joking. But like getting subscribers is the hardest thing for me. I can get views and watch time without huge effort. Naturally, the stuff I create gets it done. Yeah, film reviews is a cool idea. Can you work in a chair strike like in wrestling? Oh, like striking the back with a chair? I don't know how to do that for stage combat. That's wrestling. That's not stage combat. That is like a step above. For stage combat, for something like that, you need a chair that's designed to break on contact. And that would need props, and I don't know how to make those. But I will think about some wrestling ideas. There could be like an out-of-frame joke. I always think that's funny. Like, maybe it'll be like, it looks like I'm getting beaten up or something, or some guys are going to like beat me up, and I'll be like, subscribe, if I'm more famous, they won't hurt me, help. And then like if I fall out of frame, and then somebody comes along and like does that elbow drop, that would be very funny. So maybe we could do something like that if John of JohnCon is listening. There's an idea. Wow, where the heck was I? I think I was done with Big Red Vlogs. I think? Yeah. Well, bonsoir, Nancy. A burning chair strike instead. Yeah, you can't do the simple version. Try the complicated one. I'm going to break my back. Though I don't know that I'm going to do that. Do a fake boxing call-out to KSI. I don't know KSI. I don't watch his content. I did hear, obviously, about the boxing thing. It's a little funny and stuff. I don't know. The few times I've tried to involve bigger YouTubers in some way, like a shout-out or a call-out or whatever, it's not done anything for me. For example, I went to Portland Retro Gaming Expo, and I've asked Pat Contry questions at his panels. I've recorded his panels and the Play the Punk Challenge. I've spoken about it on the podcast, and I've posted podcast clips. I've posted video of the event. They never do well for me. Yeah, that hasn't worked. I also, we talked about the James Rolfe Ghostbusters thing on our podcast. That was one of our most least viewed clips, partly because it's off-brand. I think Portland Retro Gaming Expo I kind of shoehorn in because we travel to go there. It's an event, it's an activity, so it's kind of travel-ish. It's in Portland, it's a different city and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, I haven't had the greatest success, so I'm not sure that's going to work. Throwing you off topic. No, that's cool. Good conversations evolve. Off topic can be funny. So someone was asking for me to review a channel called The V Bunch. The problem is I just searched for it and I'm not getting a channel. Not in the above the fold results. Let me try filtering to just channels and see if that'll work. Type channel. No. Now, it was typed out here in the comments as one word, The V Bunch. Is there supposed to be a space in there? I don't know. I don't want to get it wrong. So if you're with us, please tell me a little bit more about how I can find your channel. Otherwise, I'm going to move on to Nancy Locks. But we can always circle back to the V Bunch. You're welcome to do a Vacation Impossible Presents one of our fights. Won't cost a bean. Okay. I don't know exactly what you have envisioned for that. Just tell me what I need to do. That sounds awesome. I would love to do that. Okay, The V Bunch. Why am I'm not seeing it? There's no space. I mean, I didn't capitalize the V or the B, but search engines don't care about capitalization. Not generally. I'm getting The Bunch, Fitness, Full Ski Movie, Insta Banger, The Bunch, SLVS. H2Vs. Oop, sorry, I had a brief interruption in the feed there. Just like that. Would it matter that I have the location in Spain? It shouldn't. Do you have a custom URL? Let's try that. I'm going to assume that your custom URL is the V-Bunch. Maybe I can just get directly to your channel that way. But this does not bode well for your searchability. This could be a sign of a problem with your channel. That overcoming could be maybe a huge win. Let's see here. Looks like, okay, I'm getting a custom URL. Spain. Yeah, okay. It looks like custom URL trick work. I don't have any friends. I don't think I have any viewers from Spain. I haven't looked at my analytics there in a while. Okay, so I think I found it. The V-Bunch. So there is a space in the title name. And so maybe that's where I went wrong. There were no. So you were probably giving me the URL. Well, it's a good thing if it's an easy problem to fix that could boost your channel really well. Then fixing it would be an opportunity. Trying to stay positive. Anyways, you have 401 subscribers. That's pretty good. The V-Bunch. Looking at your banner, I love the picture with the train. That's fantastic. And the text, the V-Bunch part, I like. That font, I'm not in love with, but that's a style thing. So I like your banner. That's nice. You got your Facebook link there, Instagram. You're having the Twitter problem. So go to your links and edit the URL for Twitter and take out the S after HTTP, and that gray-blue globe will convert now to the Twitter logo. For some reason, having the S for secure in the HTTP, YouTube, it makes YouTube think that it's not Twitter and it's just a random website. So take the S out. Don't worry, almost all browsers... yeah, I am reviewing channels now. I'm reviewing the V-Bunch right now. Just taking the S out is what it takes to make YouTube realize, oh, hey, this is Twitter. Let's put the Twitter icon up there. So that's an easy fix that you could do just to tidy that up a bit. Cinematic travel vlog, first time ever, is operating as your channel trailer. Seems not bad for channel trailer. It's 5 minutes, which is kind of long. Yeah, it took me forever to figure that out. Well, not forever, but it took it going wrong for me in like a couple of attempts before I realized the problem there. So, hey, that's an easy fix. Glad to help and provide some value. Here's a small montage of our first year living in Spain. We hope you all enjoy and subscribe to our channel. So, for the description of this video, I would suggest changing it up a little bit. I would drop the words, here's A. And I would just start with small, or actually no, just drop here's, keep A. Begin, so it should say a small montage of our first year living in Spain. In fact, drop the word small. Could you review my channel? It's called, I'm not sure if I'll have time, but I will add you to the list. Crypto Nightmare. Kind of a cool name, I like that. All right, and we're working on the V-Bunch now, so we'll take the V-Bunch off the list. Okie doke. Back to the V-Bunch. So, for your cinematic travel vlog, I would say, just drop the word here. So start with a small montage of our first year living in Spain, because I don't think anyone's searching the word here. And it gets you right to the point a little faster. Those early characters matter because it truncates at the end. So, a small montage of our, or you could just say a montage, drop small. A montage of our first year living in Spain. But we don't know your background. Why is living in Spain interesting? If you are an American, a Canadian, a Brazilian, you're from England or something, that changes the dimension of what your experience is like, possibly. And, I mean, think of, an American in Paris and things like that. Like, it could be part of the search terms that people might be looking for. So I suggest having your second sentence talking about specifically where you're from. So you could say, a montage of our first year living in Spain. Sure, we miss Canada, but, Spain has been amazing. Just something that indicates what your background is and how this is different. And that speaks to why it's a notable video and why people might want to watch and engage and improve the searchability. So you got favorite YouTubers, that's good. Off on the side, you like Casey Neistat. He liked a video I was in, that Audrey small YouTubers thing. He liked it, subscribed to her channel that it was on, and commented, so that was cool. And there was, I think it was the Scientific American or something in September featured him, an interview with him. It was their video issue, and I learned a lot from that. Like, I read the article in that magazine. I was flying back from Hawaii, and we were waiting for a flight because of some scheduling challenges. And so I bought a magazine like it was the 90s, and I'm like, I'm going to read a magazine, why not? And they had interviews with that, and they were covering different things. That magazine directly changed the appearance of all of my thumbnails. So here's the secret. Apparently, one of the most popular fonts to use on thumbnails is called Bebas. Bebas. And so I switched and I started using that, and it's actually really good. For one thing, it's a style, it's common, it's kind of like a lot of vloggers and stuff use it, so it does make you look a little bit like the pack, but it is also kind of professional. So if you're not sure what kind of font to use, go out and find Bebas, B-E-B-A-S. It's free, download it and install it. You know, virus scan it if you want. It's legit where I found it, I forget where, because this was like September. But one of the things that's key about it is it looks professional and it scales well. So when you're saving it at, your 1280 by 720 dimensions for your thumbnail as a JPEG, JPEGs, from what I hear, are better than PNGs for thumbnails. When it scales to the various sizes on mobile, on a tablet, on a desktop, all those different sizes, the font still looks really good. So if you do that with a little drop shadow, Bob's your uncle. I've been doing it ever since. That was one of the many useful things I learned from that magazine. So, pro tip, you heard it here. Remember me when you're famous. So, let's look here more at the V-Bunch. So I'm guessing it's kind of like the Vlog Bunch. Is that maybe what it's short for? Looking at your profile picture, I use flamingtext.com. Okay. It's not actually flaming text, is it? Because, whoa, that's so GeoCities. So the V-Bunch, your profile picture, because YouTube changed to the circular profile picture, it's cutting out it's cutting out the T from the V-Bunch. It's completely cutting out the T and the H. So it's he V bunk is what's showing. And there's something red underneath that yellow font that's above their heads. And there's no way I'm reading that. Is it a Facebook link? I don't even know. So, I think that the profile picture needs an update. I think the picture you got there is great. It looks like it's a nice outdoor place. It's evocative of me of some places in Paris and London I've been, like Whitehall. For some reason, it really makes me think that's like from like Whitehall, maybe Vienna somewhere. I'm not sure. Sam, what's your channel name again? My memory is crap. Don't take me forgetting your channel name as any kind of disrespect. It's just the malfunctioning between the ears. But anyway, so I think this is a great image. I think you should stick with that image because I think it's great. It tells me that you are a group of people that travels. Gets that message across quickly. But I think that maybe you just need to move the font around a little bit. I say take out whatever that red text is. Maybe put the above and then the V-Bunch underneath so that it would conform to the curvature of a circle. Dun, 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 dun. Adding to the list. Might not get to it. Mighty Mapper 123. I remember seeing something about that in the group not too long ago. I probably approved a post or something. I don't recall. Santiago de Spain. Oh, okay. It's pretty, and it tells me travel. It looks like fun, youthful people seeing the world and filming it with a professional camera. That's what I see from that. But it also tells me that the profile picture hasn't been updated since YouTube changed to the circle. So I think you should probably go in and just a little change. Take out the red, put the above, move it down a little bit so it fits curvature of the circle, and you're good. And I don't know. I mean, you can play with the saturation if you want. Maybe a little bit, like 20% increase on the saturation, possibly. But I don't think you have to. I think it's fine. But play with it. See how it looks, maybe. Mm-hmm. Just looking at some of your thumbnails. Oh boy. Okay, that's interesting. The cinematic travel vlog, first time ever in Spain. Again, I think that if you increase the saturation a bit, the blue sky, the blue water, the yellow blanket, and the toy are going to pop a bit more. So some of the clothing. And I also would recommend maybe putting a little text in there. Just like even just the word Spain might help. Rainbow pancakes. it's interesting. Trying to get a handle on your channel. I thought that, hey, you know what, this is a travel channel, but then I see the reaction to Donald Trump winning the election and how to make rainbow pancakes, and that seems a little off-brand with consistency there. So, yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's it's hard to say on YouTube. The Trucker Dad Smith. I'm not sure if I'll have time to get to you, but I'll put you on the list. The Trucker Dad Smith. No promises. Oh, it's a family channel. Okay. So, okay, I guess I can kind of get that. Vasquez being your last name, the V Bunch, sort of like the Brady Bunch to a degree. Was there a Brady Bunch sort of commingling at marriage sort of thing there, maybe? Kind of like a Daily Bumps, if you know what I mean. I do not, but that's okay. I get it. It's a family vlog, and that's why you'd cover a wide variety of topics. And so, fair enough. Fair enough. I would say that your banner, as much as I love the image and I like the font being used on the lower half, it only conveys travel to me. It doesn't convey family. Your profile picture does both. But so what I'm thinking, I don't know if this is good. It's up to you. You can play with it, see if it's good. Is maybe if you could take your family, sort of like magic thumb or magic tool, whatever, to like green screen effect or whatever, with a transparency, and then pop your family on the right hand side of the banner where just like the bush is, the brush there. Just like near where your links are, and that would tell me that there's a family dimension to it beyond travel. A little warning, didn't have time to make thumbnails, trailer's outdated. Hey, no worries, I am definitely not judging, and because of my crap memory, I'm not going to remember most of these things. That's one of the things I think that makes me a good admin in the group, honestly, is because I don't really hold, I don't keep score. I'm not being like, oh, I had to mute you before stuff, because, for one thing, 23,000 people I'm not going to remember, even if I had better memory than I do. But do I believe in second chances? Yeah, because I'm probably going to forget the crappy. I mean, don't pull stuff. My mod team's got a really good memory, and they're watching. But I'm just saying my memory's not the greatest. Which means I get to experience things like they're new all over again. I rewatch a lot of TV shows and movies and find new things and enjoy them. Anyways, so it's interesting. One thing, we were talking clickbait earlier. The thumbnail you have for your video called The Big One, Cascadia 9.2 Earthquake, that looks like it's from 2012, the movie, or something. It doesn't look like a thing that really happened. And so that image feels clickbaity to me. And so, from my personal standpoint, if I were to see something like that, that would make me less inclined to engage with the channel to watch their content. Your growth has slowed down. Okay, I would consider looking into your analytics. And you said since November of last year. So maybe what you should do is go to your analytics and look at the month of November. Choose that date range, and then look at your traffic sources. And maybe have two windows open and get one browser like that, and then one browser looking at all of February, and compare the traffic sources and see what's happening there, and see where the traffic is coming from, because that could really tell you. If you were getting a lot of Facebook traffic in November and almost none in February, well, maybe you need to share more effectively on Facebook, or share more on Facebook, or something like that, or if you're getting Reddit or something. So you can maybe track down where your traffic was coming from and do something about it, or at least so you understand it better. If you used to get tons of recommended, a lot of traffic from recommended videos, that's not something you can control at all, but at least then you know why. And then you know that it's not really you. It's YouTube algorithm tweaks just kind of screwed you on that one. So that might that could kind of tell you that it's not you. It's not time to change something up. Whereas other things might give you a clearer picture of where your traffic's coming from. Also look at the top 10 watched videos from those two time frames. Compare November to February, November to January, something like that. Maybe months with the same number of days might make the comparison more worthwhile. Or just change pick a 4-week period. The last 28 days versus 28 days at the beginning of November. Compare it that way, so it's an apples-to-apples comparison. And you can see what people are watching and where they're coming from. And so if, it was all new content in November, and look at me what kind of content that was, or if you haven't put something new in a while, maybe it's because maybe that might give you clues. I don't know. And it's interesting because you have a video reacting to Donald Trump winning the 2016 Electoral College, because he didn't win the election. Sorry, got political. And that's the risk. When you get political, particularly in a particularly polarized environment, and America is a huge audience on YouTube, and I'm guessing you're from the United States. I don't know, but living abroad, that particular audience, and maybe look at how much where is your audience? What are the top countries? For me, it's like America, Canada, the UK, Germany, Mexico, I think, something like that. Really, it's the U.S. is my top market that people watch me in. So if I were to take a strong political stand, which for moral reasons you may or may not want to do, but acknowledge that you could, in theory, you could possibly be alienating half of your audience by doing that. So there's some risk there. And you can also do a risk-reward analysis to a degree. Like, it got 1,500 views. So that got a lot of views. It had 5 views. You might want to consider marking it as private if there's a concern that it's polarizing your audience. Let's go to your About page. Welcome everyone to the V-Bunch channel. We're a family of 4 originally from Oregon. Hey, I'm from Oregon. So, what's up? Now living in Spain. You'll find all sorts of videos from vlogging to reviews, reaction videos, and much more. We hope you can follow us on this cool new adventure living abroad with kids. Subscribe for a new video each week. Okay. It's good that you're able to mention the name of your channel early on. That helps with keyword alignment. I'm never a big fan of welcoming people, though, but I like having the opportunity to say your channel name in the description. So maybe say something like, the V-Bunch channel is a family of 4, originally from Oregon, USA, now living in, and continue with that thought. That might be a little better. Gets the core of it earlier. And quicker, and that's important. And again, nobody's searching the words welcome or everyone. You'll find all sorts of videos, from blogging to reviews, reaction videos, and more. Well, you say videos twice in that sentence. Here you'll find maybe something like we make everything from vlogs to reviews, reaction videos, and much more. Maybe that might be a better way of phrasing it. Because finding is evocative of searching and things like that. Doesn't sound easy, and searching would lead people to other videos, not your channel. So I'd try to drop the word find. We hope you can follow us on this cool new adventure living abroad with kids. One thing, like, here's an old joke. Well, not actually that old. It's a one-line joke. So here's the joke. An SEO expert walks into a bar, pub, dive, restaurant. You get the gag, right? They're using synonyms. And so you say, originally from Oregon, USA, now living in this place, Spain. So maybe right before you say subscribe at the bottom, you could have synonyms for USA. So, for example, you could say, while we miss America and our home city of Portland or Eugene or wherever you're from, we're having the time of our lives in Spain. Now, I'm not familiar with Spain, so the place that you mention here, is that a city or like a province or a state? Whichever it is, maybe mention the other in this new sentence, where you say, while we miss, America and our hometown of, Eugene or what have you, or Lincoln or wherever you're from, we're having the time of our lives living in, and then list either the city or the province, whichever you don't mention earlier, so that you get those various terms. Eugene, 541. I don't know what 541 means, but did I guess right? You're from Eugene? I was born in Gresham. Does that give me points? But a timber's at heart forever. Hey, these are searchable terms. You could put them later in your channel description if you want to. I think it'll help. Facebook and Instagram and Twitter. That's cool. And I already told you about how to fix that icon issue. So I think that for the V-Bunch for now, I'm going to move on because I'm running short on time. Keep experimenting with tags. L19BOU. Is that a channel name? Oh, it is my channel. Yeah, okay. I'll add you to the list. Not a high likelihood I'm going to get to you in time because I'm probably going to do this for maybe another half hour. But we'll see. Nancy Locks is up next. Search. Okay, Nancy Locks, very clearly top result. You're a channel with a little over 1,000 subscribers. Congratulations. How's your watch time? Have you made monetization? Does a good channel description help that much? I don't know. I mean, nobody knows anything about YouTube. It's all a bunch of theories, really. That algorithm is like it's more than a secret, formula for KFC. It's locked down. Like it'd be easier to steal gold from Fort Knox than figure out that algorithm. So does it help that much? I don't know. But what I think it does do is it shows up in search when your channel, not your videos, but your channel shows in search. So the beginning part of your channel description I do think matter, because that will help determine whether people want to click on you. So I think that part of it is important. Beyond that, does it really matter for other SEO stuff? I don't know. But I don't think it's hard. I think that even just it's easy to improve, at least from my experience. I keep seeing things. It's like, if it was just change this couple of things, and I think it could do better. And it's one of those, and it is, again, another set it and forget it. You go in, you do it one time. You don't have to open up special software. You don't have to do a whole lot of work. But you could, but it's there forever. And I think it does factor into each one of your videos to a degree. The algorithm, I think, considers that. So I think it has the opportunity for a little bit of work to have a massive payoff over a long period of time. So in that respect, I think it's important. Having a good channel description on its own is not enough to make a successful channel by any means, but it's easily forgotten. And I think it's something I can actually help you with. So that's part of why I talk about that a lot. I don't know about somewhere you could read about keywords. I mean, I do recommend the Hootsuite blog. It's sometimes interesting. I don't know if they're talking about that kind of stuff. But this video will be viewable when we're done. After I finish it, you can go back and you can rewatch any parts of it you like. And on that note, if anyone here wants to use any part of this video, I officially grant you permission. All I ask is that you do link to my channel in the description for whatever you use it for. That's Vacation Impossible. But if you want to do a reaction to this, or I don't know, remix me so I say ridiculous things or something, feel free to go ahead, whatever you want to do with the video, and you can download and use it as you like. Just please do link to my channel in the description is all I ask. You want to mention us and put a little, maybe a little text on the screen, that's nice, but the minimum is a link in the description would be delightful. Above the fold would be nice, but I understand you can't always do that because above the fold is important. I get it, don't worry. But this video will be available, so you can watch it later. So, Nancy Locks. The picture is a couple of children. Nancy Locks sounds like a name, and sounds like a female name. It looks like the child underneath is a female. Is that Nancy? Is this about Nancy? Or is this Nancy's children? Some of my initial thoughts. And when I saw Locks, I did think it might have been about hair. Although Locks for hair, I believe normally has a K. This finger spelling, K. For hard of hearing people, that's a K. That's an I. And if it was an H, it would be like Loch Ness. So I'm thinking the last name is Locks. I don't know. That's just, I'm taking it, sort of step by step. Now I'm going to look into the description. Locks and natural hairstyle. Okay, so you're talking about the hair. If you do hair stuff and your last name is legit Locks, that is awesome. Songify. I don't know what that is, but if you want to auto-tune the channel review, sure. I don't know what kind of links you can put on SoundCloud or whatever. Maybe just a shout out at the end of the... I don't... Songify. I don't know. Let me know. Maybe we'll use it on our channel if you let us. Songify. Learn something new every day. So anyways, if that is legit your last name, that's awesome. And so, thinking about that, maybe these are a couple hairstyles that you helped create. Okay, then the profile picture would make a bit more sense in that context. But... solely looking at the name, I was... Okay, that's cool, too. Yeah, I assumed you were being silly, John. You're always silly. That's part of why we love you. I'm pretty silly myself, I think. I like to think. So, Nancy Locks, the name makes me... I was expecting a personality-based vlogger. Daily vlog, family vlog, makeup, hairstyle, something like that. The picture makes me think family channel. Just the profile picture. So... Locks and natural hairstyle and maintenance, weight loss tips, weekly grocery, foods, hairstyle, locks, and natural curly hair, #natural. So there's some minor formatting things here. It looks like you're trying to pack a lot in, like you're using an ampersand instead of and I think that's good because you get that. You clearly get that the early characters are important. But if you do it to a certain degree, it looks like it wasn't done carefully. And as a result, people might be less inclined to check it out. So after each comma, there should be a space, for example. It's a little inconsistent in the capitalization. Style, maintenance, weekly grocery foods, natural, all capitalized. Weight loss, tips, hairstyle, not capitalized. So I would say try to find a capitalization convention that's consistent. Whether you capitalize it all or none of it, I would try to be consistent just so it looks like you put the thought in and it makes you look a bit more professional. And I apologize to anyone who I may inadvertently offend with my harsh criticism, but I'm trying to do this efficiently and help you and save everyone time. So hopefully you get something out of this. You mention locks twice with that same spelling. If you want to put it in a second time, I suggest an alternate spelling because repeating keywords in the same field does not help you. But having an alternate spelling or a synonym would. So, just throwing that out there. You say natural hairstyle, and then later you say natural curly hair. So the word natural and hair both appear twice. I'm not sure how hashtags are relevant in descriptions, so I don't know about that. But it feels a bit repetitive, because you basically talk about hairstyle 3 times. So I would consider maybe doing so, repeating a little less. But otherwise, this is pretty good. Let's dive into the channel. Yeah, well, they say friends are honest with each other, so let's be friends. Because I could just say, oh hey, you're wonderful, and waste your bloody time by doing it. Okay, you got a welcome to your channel, so channel trailer, that's great. I paused it shortly after it began, but that welcome to popped up with some video happening inside the text. That's a nice effect. Looks very professional. The banner feels a little less professional, sort of. There's one design aesthetic here that I love, and some that I don't. The part that I love is where you say inspiration for natural hair. You have that white font, the font you're using, it's nice and crisp, and you got that black line underneath, like the black sort of area, the bottom like 15%, 20% of the banner. That looks crisp. And it actually, it's evocative for me as a Canadian of the CBC, it's the Canadian Broadcast Corporation. They have certain programs, one of them is called The National, it's the National News Program. They use that similar sort of design style of that font above a field of like a lower bit of black around that part. I don't think, and that is meant to be a compliment, because this is good. There's a reason why they use that design. It's sharp. So I like that part of it. I don't think you should change that. The Nancy Locks part in purple, it's weird. It's not a great it has contrast with the background, but it's not, and I don't mean this to be mean, but it's not in a pleasing way. It does something to the eyes that's unpleasant. I'm sorry to say that, but it just does. I don't want to lie to you. And vlogs off to the side in black. I'm not sure, you're using 3 fonts, for one thing. I think the font that you use for inspiration for natural hair is the good one, and so for one thing, I would use that font consistently, is my advice. Whether or not saying vlogs is useful, I'm not sure. And the background image, I'm not sure what I'm looking at. It looks like, I don't know, a stereoscope or a 3D rendering of a planet exploding? I don't know. So I would consider tweaking the Nancy Locks, the vlogs, and the background part above the black bar. All of that, I think you could consider tweaking a little bit. If we're talking a lot about hair, I wonder if like a real tight close up on hair, like hair maybe even under a microscope or something, might be kind of cool. I would say avoid the purple on blood red, because that's just it's doing things. You should do a channel review series on your channel. What's your thoughts? It's funny you mention, since you've been sitting with me so long, I'll give you a little preview here. I have actually created a YouTube channel it's nothing. But under the Small YouTubers Boost name, I was talking about you guys like locking down your branding, and I realized some time ago that what if somebody were to come along and pretend to be Small YouTubers Boost who isn't, and maybe give us a bad name. So I went and I created some accounts, and one of them is on YouTube. And what Sabrina, give me your channel name. I'll add you to the list. Not sure I'll have time to reach you, but give me your channel name and we'll see. I'll try. And so I have created this, and what I've done so far is I just uploaded a couple of these that I did in LA back in December. Just the first 2 attempts, the big one. Oh, hey, we're back. I was having some connectivity problems, so give a link. Could I just get your channel name, please? Part of what I'm trying to do here is see how searchable your channel is, and I'm broadcasting on the phone, but I'm using my Surface to check. So if I could just get the channel name, that'd be preferable. So anyways, and so I have created this channel. I'm not really doing anything with it, but uploading these things. So I might upload this to it as well at some point. And the possibility of maybe doing live streams from it with channel reviews or other things. I don't know if we're even going to do anything with it. I just didn't want anyone impersonating us, so I kind of locked it down. So I don't know. Stay tuned. We'll let you know. There is one particular thing we're thinking of doing sometime in the next couple weeks. ZooCrew432. I'll add you to the list if my internet holds out long enough and I don't run out of time. I got about 15 more minutes on this. I got a few I got to get to. So it's a long shot, but I'll add you to the list just in case. So, anyways. Okay, so getting back to this channel here. Welcome to my channel. It's a channel trailer, so that kind of works. Hello guys, welcome to my channel. I am called Nancy Jennifer, living in South France, and I am mom of 2 kids, 8 and 6 years. My channel is mixed of every, and that's where you get to read more. So that's the above the fold issue. So, hello guys, welcome to my channel. Delete. Because that way the important stuff gets moved up. I don't think people are searching those terms. I don't think those terms add much. Conversationally, say it in your video, say it on your podcast if you have one. I wouldn't put it in the description. I am called Nancy Jennifer. Is your last name Jennifer or Locks or something else? My only concern is that if Nancy Jennifer is your full name, your first and last, then there might be some privacy there. Do you really want to have your full name out in the world? A lot of people do. James Rolfe, Pat Contry, a lot of those names are out there in the world. But especially as a mother of children, I am concerned sometimes about people putting their full names out there, especially when their children are involved, because if that's your name and you're applying for a job and somebody Googles you and then they could find that, and it may or may not be good. If it's good, then you could just include it in your resume, like with a URL or something. And if it's not, then you control that. So by maybe not including a full name with a last name, it looks like I got another one here to add to the list here. Lad Songogeta. I probably said that wrong. I apologize. But anyways, just both for yourself and for your kids, I would recommend, my personal concern is to not use your full name. Especially, if your last name is Locks, use it, because that's awesome. That is a branding opportunity you don't want to miss out on. But if it's not, you could just say, I'm called Nancy Locks. Whether you are or not, decide for yourself what you want to be called, maybe. I don't know. So living in South France, that's good. If the kids are an integral part, then that's good. So that's fine. It's tied to the video, which is a point in time, so having the years isn't a problem. Now, this is a pet peeve of mine. Hey, people commenting here, I don't know, how do you feel? What do you feel about people who use, emojis in their titles? Because for one here, popular uploads, it has the red light, siren, cop car light thing, Fun City Wigs, the light again, hashtag frauds, then 100% icon, 100 with the 2 lines underneath it, emoji, and then percent. My personal thought is when people post in the Facebook group, and I apologize in advance if I offend anyone here, but it's just my personal taste, when they post tons of those light emojis and then the new video alert. For one thing, if that's all they post, it's not getting approved because there's no description. But it turns me off. And maybe I'm unique that way. I don't know. Does that make you want to click more on a video when you see that? Does it make any difference? I don't know. So that's something for you guys to talk about yourselves. I don't know. My one thought is, I don't think emojis are searchable. Yeah, it's all about the emojis and hashtags. Hashtags are useful. Emojis, from a visual thing, if you want to put an emoji in your thumbnail, I guess you can. I don't personally like it, but you can. It doesn't hurt anything. But using it in your title and description, these are key characters that are part of the SEO. And I'm not sure how the SEO interfaces with emojis. I don't know that it does. So you might be missing an opportunity here. Yeah, so I am no expert, but for my personal taste, it's not something that I personally enjoy. Here's another good example of something I was talking about earlier. You've got this video, end of no retwist after 3 months, and so it looks like it was shot in portrait, and so you got the black bars on either side. So for your thumbnail, there's an opportunity here. Even if it's that exact image is what you want, use that, but put it off to one side and consolidate the black bars into one, the letterboxing, and then use that space to put some text. So, and I would suggest, because the time code covers up part of it, factor that in. Maybe put the image of the hair to the right, where the time code would only cover up by the neck and wouldn't really matter to the image. And then on the left-hand side, you could put end of no retwist, or after 3 months, or something. Not too many words, so that it's big enough that's easily seen, and you have like the white text on the black background, good high contrast. I think that'd make a really good thumbnail. And speaking of, like, also the Zeri and Hamisa Mobeda in Uganda. Don't know what you're talking about. But you have some text in there that's red, and parts of it are easier to read than others. The Z I can read, the A is a little hard, and that kind of stuff. If you're using Photoshop, drop shadow is a great way of making text pop without having to do an outline stroke. You don't use the beard emoji. Of course you would. Beard people, I don't get it. They're not comfortable. Tips on how to get a job in France/Europe. That's a good topic for a video. I like that. Present YR CV personally to the companies. This looks like it's a screen grab, and so I imagine that's text that came up, and it's probably one of your tips. If you still have the original footage, I would recommend for a thumbnail, go to the original footage, the pre-edited footage, and screen cap it, and then maybe just put put something about that title, because that title is strong. I mean, you got a lot of views on here, so you got 4,000 views in a year, so you don't necessarily need my advice. It's just what I'm thinking is, you put something like, you could have on either side of your head or something. It's like, get a job in France, maybe? I don't know how exactly it would look, but I think that the text that's on there is not super easy to read, and it's pretty small. So, like, on your channel, it looks good, but on mobile, it's going to be really small. So I don't think that text is going to be great. Beard people. You guys have your fun. I'll be over here. Anyways, you got twice the number of subscribers for me, so I don't know why you're listening to me at all, but hey, maybe I'll give you an idea. And then you have some emojis here at the end of your description. So, yeah, I would think again, maybe just flushing that out with a second paragraph that won't appear in search results, but might help your SEO. Something about why you're making your channel. I think something that speaks to the why. I've learned a lot from managing hair, or I have a professional education in this. I'm a certified esthetician, or whatever it is, hairstylist, whatever you might be. You could speak to your particular authority, background education in the subject, or your experience, or your passion for why you're doing it. Good opportunity there to add a second paragraph. But you got a lot going for you here. And like I said, don't change the font of Inspiration for Natural Hair on your banner. I love it. But, not the purple. All right, we're moving on. Crypto Nightmare. You're up. What do we got? Okay, so we have a Nintendo Mii character there. It looks like it might be from Miitomo, kind of a reaction shot with some lines coming in around it. It's an interesting design. Makes me think you're a Nintendo gamer. New gaming videos each week. Like us on Facebook. Follow us on Twitter. So that's what's showing up in your description. So new gaming videos each week. Good. But I would add a sentence after that. immediately after that, expanding upon that a little bit more so you can draw people in. What do you play? Is it all Nintendo? Is it Nintendo, PS4, Xbox One, PC games, mobile games? Mention what kind of thing, or maybe you're genre specific. Maybe you're just all about the RPGs or whatever. So this is a really good opportunity. It'll help you with search. It'll make your channel look more appealing in results that people might click on it. Also, one of the things that we often struggle with is we want in the group. One of our rules is if you're posting your channel or a video, you need a description of the content of minimum 2 words. That isn't here. This just says gaming. That's 1 word. So I don't know if you're doing Let's Plays, live streams, reviews, comedy skits. I don't know. So it's a good opportunity to give a little bit more information that could entice people to click on your channel and search results. Let's dive in. 94 videos, 37 subscribers. Welcome to Crypto Nightmare Productions, maybe? I don't know. It's truncating the title. But anyways, you got a channel trailer here. It's about 1.5 minutes, which is fine, depending on how it flows. Generally, 1 minute's good, but 1.5 minutes is probably fine if that's how long it needs to be. Your description just says Crypto Nightmare returns with a new channel format. That is not SEOable at all. There's not a single word in there that somebody would search for unless they already know who you are. So really, talk about the format. It's okay in the description to give the video away to a degree. That's not necessarily we need to entice them in. You can have a straight up description. Partly because go get a Ladson. Okay. I'll kind of make a note of that. Excuse me. Go get a lad, son. Go out and find a lad, son. I'm sure that's not what that is. Anyways, so you could say hey, I would nuke that first sentence and just be like, our channel is about, and I see here from your banner, gaming and nerd culture. Say that at the very least. Are these people even still in here? I don't know, but this video will be rewatchable after we're done the live stream. You can go back and watch any part of it. So I'm trying to go in order. And also, I'm trying to make this somewhat general that I think, people, I might not review your channel, but some of the things I'm saying might also apply to your channel. Something to think about. Ideas. So anyways, drop what you got there and put in something like, hey, the best of gaming and nerd culture. We cover Nintendo's latest news, and we give you playthroughs and game reviews. Something like that. It's searchable, tells people what they're looking at, because, returning with a new channel format, who is going to go into YouTube and say, I want to find a channel that just revamped itself? I don't care what they're about, I just want something that's been revamped recently. I don't know that person exists. So, anyways, the thing at the top there, the banner, looks nice, I like it. The green and the yellow with the background with the stars, it's great. No complaints about the banner. Got a link to Facebook, Twitter, and again that sub-confirmation thing, which I don't do, but it works for some folk. Just kind of peeking at your thumbnails. Okay, so you have uploads and created playlists. Created playlists is okay to have, but I would relabel it, even if it's just playlists with a capital P. And I also think popular videos again is a good module to add to your homepage. Your thumbnails look really good for the most part. Particularly like the Super Mario RPG looks great, Smash Brothers with Pokemon Fire Emblem, the Zelda, that all looks good. There's one that's just you with, I think, cat ears. That, I think, could use a little work, partly because it looks like it's off-brand, because it looks like you're talking about the WWE, where everything else... I mean, I could be wrong, but I don't consider wrestling part of nerd gaming culture. But I might be wrong about that. Trucker Dad's still here. Yeah, I hope I'll get you. It's a shame this isn't on YouTube. It might be in the future. Stay tuned. What programs do you suggest for video and editing work? I use Adobe. I use the CS6 version because I don't believe in subscriptions for software or software as a service. So that's what I use. I use Adobe Premiere Pro CS6 and Photoshop CS6. Got another channel here to add to the list. I doubt we'll get to you, but I'm going to put you on the list on the off chance. South Rebel 2009. I have to ask, do you go to Burnaby South? Is that what that is? Because, oh my god, if that is, that was my high school. And so, that's an amazing coincidence. So, anyways, yeah, your thumbnails are all great, except for that WWE one. You might want to consider playing with the saturation. I don't know, maybe. It's kind of hard. The lighting in there is a little difficult to say. Maybe contrast. Or maybe just putting a title on there, even if it's just WWE, so that people know from looking at it. Because looking at it, there's like colored hair, and there's some cat ears, and I thought that might be a cosplay something. And then I read the description, and it seems to be about something happening in the WWE. So even just throwing up the letters WWE could be quite good. You've got that space that is next to your head that's unused. That could be a good place to put that. Otherwise, I like your thumbnails. I went to Burnaby South Secondary School. Premiere is not free. Not legally. That's all I'm going to say about that. Let's go look at the channel description. Yeah, okay, so this is what I talked about before. It says new gaming videos every week. Well, I'm seeing that there's a lot of Nintendo stuff there, so it could be like new gaming videos every week. We're giving you the best of gaming and nerd culture with a focus on Nintendo. We cover games like Super Mario RPG, Smash Brothers, and Fire Emblem. Boom. Way more searchable, more detail. And you have your URLs here for Facebook and Twitter and this other Facebook thing, where you also have the Twitter and Facebook immediately underneath in the links area and up on the banner that's linkable. My advice is drop the first Facebook and the Twitter link because it's not clickable, but leave the society because you don't have that link anywhere else. And I think that would flush out and tidy up and make your description more searchable. Can you pin it in the comments? Adobe and Photoshop. I don't think I can pin comments on a specific thing in that nature. That's more of a YouTube function. But, ask me again and I'll tell you the same. Come visit me at South Rebel 2009. I am in the Midwest. So why is it South if you're in the Midwest? The reason I ask is because I went to a school called Burnaby South and their mascot was the Rebel. So when I saw South Rebel 2009, I assumed that you went to my high school and graduated in 2009. But that's just my very specific experience. That's not... Twiggy the Tree. Hey, Twiggy. I'm sorry, Sam. I don't think we're going to have time. I said nice things about you earlier. I talked about how you're really supportive in the group, and I can always approve your posts because you have great descriptions. So there's that. And also, you can rewatch this video. Feedback I gave to other channels may apply to yours. So, or just might inspire an idea. But for now, we're going to Mighty Mapper 123. I didn't think we'd have time. Oh, this is gonna be my last one, guys. I'm sorry. That's all I'm gonna have time to. This is kind of overtime for me. I need to. I need to charge my devices. I need to rest, have some water before I go out for dinner. Oh, that's interesting. I don't know. Contact Burnaby South. Maybe you guys can do something. But you're not there anymore. So. Okay, Mighty Mapper 123. I love the profile picture. It's great. The animated guy, the MM, and the world. It's in the circles within circles. Lovely design. Every day I wake up with that urge to create my beast. And then you talk about the specs of your computer. So I don't know what you're creating. I don't know what the mapper part is. So I think that every day I wake up with the urge to create is a pretty cool thing, but I think after that you need a sentence talking about what your channel is about, because that's sort of that. But you got 9,000 subscribers. You're kicking my butt there. So tell me your secrets, dude. God, I wish I had 1,000. I wish I had 1/9 of your 1/9 of your subscriber. If I could gain 1/18 of your subscribers, I would be, oh, you're sponsored. That's kind of cool. You got a website. I make maps. Okay, I don't know what that means. Do you mean maps for video games? Like additional levels? Because that's kind of cool. Anyways, your banner's solid. My only thought is Shotgun Face, your sponsor, his name is slightly being hid by your link banner. You're having the Twitter problem. Go to your links. Remove the S from your Twitter URL after HTTP, and that circle globe thing that's bluish gray will convert to the Twitter logo. So that's an easy fix. Go do that. Send a gift from PayPal. I don't know what that is. Discord. Okay. So what's serving as your channel trailer is Epic Toy Line Defense. And it's 20 minutes. That doesn't look like a channel trailer to me, and it's way too long for a channel trailer. So I recommend you create a 60-second sizzle reel of the best moments you've ever filmed, and have that as a channel trailer. 163,000 views from 7 months. Not bad at all. Well done, Mighty Mapper. You're going strong here. And it's funny because I'm wondering how you're doing so well, but like your descriptions, they're so thin, at least above the fold. So like this one, it's don't forget to check out my Patreon. Hope you enjoyed. Hope you enjoyed. Yeah, I don't think it adds to the searchability. You could take that out. The top of your description needs to be what's the video about. You got your buddies there. That's cool. Related channels. You're doing well there. Your thumbnails are solid. I don't have much advice about your thumbnails at all. The Men of War one, could use some text or something, but, Elsa. Okay. Yeah. No, good thumbnails. I got nothing on thumbnails. You're doing great there. What's up, Andrew? I'm wrapping this up. It's my last channel of the day, of this trip. Okay, every day I wake up with the urge to create my beast, my headset, subscriber goals. Yeah, I don't know about posting subscriber goals and dates. I don't think it's searchable. If you are getting interactions with your audience where they're talking about that kind of stuff and they're excited about that kind of stuff, then maybe it's cool to have it there. But it just, I'm not sure that it adds a lot of value to people who are checking out your channel. And so this is a really good opportunity to be robust and talk about what kind of stuff you create. What does it mean that you make maps? What kind of what kind of maps do you create? What does that mean? Really flush that out with another paragraph above your computer specs. You got 1.4 million views, man. You're doing great. I don't think I can help you much here. Looks mighty professional, Mighty Maps. Advice on how to advertise your Patreon. End of your videos is my advice. If you're going to do the things where you ask for things, a subscription, a like, whatever, do it at the end of the video, because it doesn't turn people off in the sense that they've already watched your video, so you got that watch time. But also, if they've watched your video to the end, they probably liked it a fair bit, and so they're probably more open and willing to hear an ask. If your ask is at the top of the video before you've given them any reason to know why you're worth doing it, that sets me off every time. Every time it's like, oh, here's an animated logo, and hey, please like, watch, subscribe, comment, do all these things, follow me on Patreon. Now we're going to talk about what our video's about. I'm like, you got the cart before the horse there, You got give me a reason to do those things before asking me to do those things is my thinking. And I'm not saying any one specific person is doing that. I've just seen it out there in the world. Man, I did this like a job today. I must have put in quite a few hours. This was fun, guys. I hope you got some value out of it. If you're watching the replay, sorry we missed you. Sorry to the Trucker Dad Smith, L19BOU, Zoo Crew 432, Lads on Go Getta or Go Getta Lads on, South Rebel 2009, and Twiggy the Tree. I'm sorry that I didn't have time to get to you, but hopefully some of the stuff I talked about provided some value to some folk, and this video will be rewatchable. So thanks for being part of the Small YouTubers Boost community. Next time I have a hotel stay where I'm cooling my jet somewhere, I'm going to try and do this again. I can't predict when that'll be. I don't think it'll be June, because June is going to be an epic trip. So I don't know. But thanks for watching, guys. This has been fun. And, remember me when you're famous. And hey, if you want to check out Vacation Impossible, that's my channel. We do travel videos. We've been obsessed with cruising since 2003, but we've been filming since 2001. We cover camping, hiking, road trips, Vegas. We've been to Europe, but we have been a little obsessed with cruising lately, but that takes us to amazing places like Atlantis in the Bahamas is mind-blowing. It's a water slide that goes through a shark tank. So check that out. I've done parasailing in Mazatlan with my GoPro, stuff like that. So, our adventures has taken us to some amazing places. And so if you're at all interested in traveling, getting inspired to go somewhere you haven't gone before, doing it in a different way you haven't done it before, saving money. I've got a podcast. It's called Vacation Impossible. You can find us on Podbean, Stitcher, Google Play, iTunes, almost everything except Spotify. So you can find us all over the place pretty easily. And so we cover a lot of stuff like that. I talk every now and then. I talk retro gaming stuff, not that often. We talk mostly about travel. We talk YouTube movies every now and then. I got a blog, vacationimpossible.tumblr.com. So those are all different places. If you're interested in hearing more of this voice drone on, and of course other people of my team join us for podcasts. We're going to be recording a podcast here in Victoria, so I'm not sure exactly when we're going to do that. We've got a variety of topics. If you want to suggest anything, on Twitter we use the hashtag VIPodcast. That's for Vacation Impossible Podcast. And I think I'm done spieling and shilling for my stuff. So thanks for watching, guys. It's been fun. I look forward to doing it again soon sometime. Have a good day.